2026 season, the stakes have never been higher in a series finale for either side. After a war of attrition yesterday afternoon, the FIU Panthers and Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders each stand at one win apiece in the series, with all eyes pointed to a Mother's Day matchup with so much on the line. Can Middle Tennessee seal their fate in the month of May, or will FIU claw their way to a series upset at home? It's FIU, it's Middle Tennessee, it's the final round. And with that, we welcome you to the FIU Baseball Stadium in Miami, Florida for the series finale between the Panthers and the Blue Raiders in Conference USA baseball action. Dylan Simmons back on the call with you this Sunday morning, and happy Mother's Day to all of the hardworking and incredible mothers out there in our world. We hope to give all of you and everyone else a treat of a baseball game today as Middle Tennessee and FIU square off for the final game of what has been a dramatic and chaotic series through 2 games. Yesterday, FIU found their way to a 7-5 win off a 4-home run effort from the Panthers' bats, including a late 2-run home run by the catcher Cade Samler to lift the Panthers to an eventual 7-5 win. Now the stakes for today's game are even higher, with the series on the line for both teams and a chance for MTSU to claim their first CUSA Road Series win in 2 years and control their destiny in the upcoming weeks. However, will MTSU be able to overcome the FIU roadblock, or will the Panthers scratch and claw their way to a series win? Senior Day ceremonies taking place here at the FIU Baseball Stadium. Congrats to all the FIU seniors, and congrats as well to all the MTSU graduates out there after yesterday's graduation and commencement ceremonies. Let's take a look at yesterday's Game 2 stats for Middle Tennessee. Blue Raiders were able to score a couple of runs off the bat of Brett Rogers, 3 in total. 2 hits, 1 RBI for Rogers, and a couple of doubles. He was certainly feeling it yesterday. Nathan Brewer went for 2 hits as well, a couple singles. Not the dramatic 4-home run day that he had in game number 1 to set the new CUSA single-game home run record, but a solid day nonetheless. Cooper Clapp ended up going for 1 hit, 1 RBI, and 1 run in the game. Owen Nowak had a 2-hit day with 1 RBI as well for Middle Tennessee, and Brett Von Dolan had 2 RBIs with 1 hit. Clay Badalak went for 1 hit as well. Meanwhile, for the FIU Panthers in yesterday's game, it was Sammy Fisher who had a 3-run home run that really set FIU apart from Middle Tennessee early in the contest. Of course, MTSU would gradually claw their way back into the game, but it wasn't just him. 4 total home runs scored by FIU yesterday produced all 7 of the runs that they put up against Middle Tennessee. Mario Trivella went 0 for 2 yesterday. Cooper Rasmussen also did not have a hit. Andrew Ildefonso had 1 hit, but it was a solo home run shot. Aiden Kohal had a solo home run as well. Caden Samler, of course, we talked about him earlier, had the 2-run home run in the bottom half of the 8th to lift FIU to their eventual 7-5 win over MTSU. He will certainly be a batter to watch today for the Panthers. Didn't even start in game number 1, but did in game number 2 and made a huge impact against the Blue Raiders. And the big question for MTSU in this game is, will the pitching be good enough to limit FIU early on? First 2 games of this series, FIU's been able to produce a lot of runs early on in the game to test Middle Tennessee. That is something that MTSU's going to want to make sure that they don't allow to happen here in game number 3 of this series. And speaking of the pitchers for both sides, we have a very interesting matchup today between MTSU and FIU. For the Panthers, it will be Jordan Vargas on the mound. He pitched a little bit on Friday, not a whole lot of action for FIU in that game. In fact, as a matter of fact, in that contest, he only had less than 2 innings pitched in the game. Vargas, though, is still a very solid pitcher for FIU, who has made 2 starts this year, and he gets the start today for the junior out of Hialeah, Florida. Played at Miami Springs High School and transferred in from Miami-Dade College. Entered the weekend with a 5.13 ERA, a 1-0 record, and 21 strikeouts on the season. Meanwhile, for Middle Tennessee, Back for the first time since the month of March, it will be Drew Horn starting on the mound in today's game. The redshirt junior out of Smyrna, Tennessee, who played at Siegel High School and transferred in from Walter State Community College, has a 6.28 ERA on the year, a 2-1 record, 28 2/3 innings pitched. This will be his 8th appearance and 8th start of the year with 36 strikeouts. And he was on track to be one of the top pitchers in the conference before he had to step away from pitching for a little bit, but he's back today. A preseason CUSA All-American and an All-Conference USA second-team member a year ago. Drew Horn pitching for the first time since way back on March 28th against New Mexico State, when he had 6 innings pitched with just 2 earned runs given up and 6 strikeouts. And he's looking for a monumental effort today against the FIU Panthers to lift Middle Tennessee to a series victory. We're going to take a quick 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have your Ascend starting lineups, and we'll take a look at scores across Conference USA and a quick update at the Conference USA standings. All that and more coming up after the break on the Blue Raider pregame show presented by the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
The Blue Raiders are winners in the classroom, on the field, and the courts. Richard Lewis here. I want you to win in real estate also. Buying, selling, auction here in Tennessee, or along the Gulf Coast, a second home, or investing. Give me a call to help start that winning process. 615-319-9981. Oh, I'm never too busy for your referrals. Richard Lewis, Exit Realty, Bob Lamb & Associates.
Las Casas Drugs is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, located at 4702 Las Casas Pike, just minutes from Murfreesboro. Las Casas Drugs strives to provide all of your pharmaceutical needs in that hometown atmosphere you deserve. Family-owned and operated, Las Casas Drugs offers free delivery, immunizations, drive-through window, gift shop, merchandise, and medication management programs. Come by and see how we can make a difference. And go Blue Raiders!
Bring your game day style courtside with a stop at Lightning's Locker Room on the concourse. From bold new drops to timeless campus classics, we've got everything you need to turn heads from class to tip-off. Whether you're rocking a hoodie in the student section or sporting a tee around town, your look says it loud. You're here for the wins, the energy, and the tradition. So step up your style and your spirit, because at Lightning's Locker Room, the season never slows down, and every fan plays a part in the hype. Let's make every day feel like game day.
Hey Blue Raider fans, this is Brad Hopkins with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates. Winning in real estate is a lot like football. Good coaching and recruiting a great team are the keys. I put together a team of lenders, inspectors, and home professionals to help you succeed. Let me coach you through this process and make sure you come out a winner. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, I am here to help you win. Visit BradHopkinsHomes.com or call 615-556-9239 to find out more.
You're listening to MTSU Sports on WGNS.
Welcome back here to the FIU Baseball Stadium. This is the Blue Raider pregame show. Dylan Simmons with you here in Miami, Florida for the rubber match between the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders and the FIU Panthers in CUSA baseball action. It is time now for our Ascend starting lineups. Ascend Federal Credit Union is the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. Learn more at ascend.org. We will start with the FIU Panthers today. In second base once again is Sammy Fisher. He'll be in the leadoff spot. Mario Trivella is the shortstop in the number 2 spot. Cooper Rasmussen is at third base. Andrew Ildefonso will be in the cleanup spot at left field. Aiden Kohal is the first baseman. Enrique Alvarez Jr. in the 6th spot at DH. Caden Samler, the man with the 2-run home run yesterday to lift FIU to a victory, is the catcher. Hector Candelas is in right field. Cole Cleveland will be in center field. And for your Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders, Owen Nowak takes his spot at the top of the order in center field. Cooper Clapp will be in the number 2 spot today at second base. Tyler Minnick now in the 3 spot as the catcher. Nathan Brewer is in the cleanup spot in left field. Lane Akers is the designated hitter. Brett Rogers, off a great day yesterday, is in right field. Dean O'Neill is at first base in the 7th spot. Brett Von Dolan at third base. And sneaky good Clay Badalak will be at shortstop in the 9-hole for Middle Tennessee here today. Let's take a quick look at the Conference USA standings. Right now, Jacksonville State After last night's action, still atop the conference at 21-5. Liberty 18-8. They will play Middle Tennessee in Murfreesboro next weekend. Missouri State in the 3 spot at 17-9. Louisiana Tech tied with them at 17-9. Same goes for Dallas Baptist. Guess what? At 17-9. And then drop off from Dallas Baptist to Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky at 12-14. Between the 5 and 6 spots, it's pretty significant between those two. Kennesaw State at 12-14. Middle Tennessee at 8th in the conference right now at 11-15. Sam Houston slotting in right behind at 11-15. New Mexico State 8-18. FIU 7-19 after their win yesterday against MTSU. And Delaware is at 5-21 overall in conference play. Well, folks, we're going to take one more 2-minute timeout. When we come back, it'll be time for the rubber match between the Panthers and the Blue Raiders. Conference USA baseball action. You won't want to miss it. Game 3 coming up soon here on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
At State Farm, when home and auto work as a team, you score and save money. I'm State Farm agent Andy Womack. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let's work together to win big by saving money on home and auto. With the service you get from State Farm, you might think our car insurance costs more. I'm State Farm agent Andy Womack. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let me show you with discounts up to 40%. You may find it even costs less.
At Middle Tennessee Electric, we see the lines that link us all, illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Because we believe in the power of good energy. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart. And as your family and our region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
Hey folks, it's Chip Walters from Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, helping Middle Tennessee make smart moves in a fast-moving market. Whether you're buying, selling, or just exploring your options, you deserve someone who knows this community and treats your goals like their own. From first-timers to long-time homeowners, I'm here to guide you with clarity, confidence, and a steady hand. When you're ready to make the next move, start with someone you trust. Visit choosechip.net and let's make your 2026 move the right move.
Las Casas Drugs is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, located at 4702 Las Casas Pike, just minutes from Murfreesboro. Las Casas Drugs strives to provide all of your pharmaceutical needs in that hometown atmosphere you deserve. Family-owned and operated, Las Casas Drugs offers free delivery, immunizations, drive-through window, gift shop, merchandise, and medication management programs. Come by and see how we can make a difference. And go Blue Raiders.
WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports. From the Blue Raider Network and Van Wagner College, it's time for Middle Tennessee State University Baseball. Today's game is brought to you in part by Exit Realty, Bob Lamb & Associates, and agents Brad Hopkins, Richard Lewis, Jonathan Harmon, and Chip Walters. The Tennessee Highway Safety Office. And by Middle Tennessee State University. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Blue Raider Baseball.
Welcome back on this Mother's Day morning to the FIU Baseball Stadium in Miami, Florida. Dylan Simmons with you. Hope you're having a great Mother's Day so far, and we're hopeful for a great baseball game today between the FIU Panthers and your Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders as MTSU looks to claim this Conference USA series on the road in what has been a dramatic weekend of baseball. So many storylines, so many twists and turns so far. We saw the chaos of Friday's game. Nathan Brewer picking up a new Conference USA single-game home run record with 4 homers against the FIU Panthers, helping MTSU to an 11-9 win. In yesterday's game, FIU returned the favor, not with 4 home runs from one person, but 4 home runs as a team, and all 4 of those home runs contributed to the runs that FIU scored on the game. In fact, no runs the Panthers put in were from anything other than a home run. So FIU, as a virtue of that, was able to claim the 7-5 win over Middle Tennessee. And that brings us to today between Middle Tennessee and FIU. Will we get a low-scoring game or a high-scoring game? It's going to be tough to say, but with the two guys on the mound, I think both teams expect this one to be a bit more of a grueling test than we've seen so far. And one thing that is going to be especially grueling for both sides is going to be the weather. It is hot again in Miami. Right now, sitting at 89 degrees. We expect to peak around 90 to 91 before the afternoon is up, and it'll be its hottest right around the time this game comes to a close. There should be a little bit of cloud cover today, which might help with the overall feel of the field. However, it's not going to change the heat and humidity that is being felt down here in southern Florida. So for those in attendance, they've got their fans out, and they're trying to find any shade that they can, and I can't blame them at all. The good news is for us, we're underneath a nice canopy provided by Florida International University that they've set us up with for our broadcast area, and we certainly do appreciate that. And we hope that Middle Tennessee can take this opportunity and make it into a Conference USA Road Series win today. While we've got a moment, let's take a look at some scores from across the conference yesterday in the Saturday slate of this second weekend of May. As far as results go, it was a little more controlled than what we saw on Friday. Missouri State picked up the win 9-1 over New Mexico State. They will be going for the sweep today against the Aggies. Sam Houston defeated Delaware 5-4 in Huntsville in a pretty close contest. Blue Hens made it a little interesting late. Of course, it was FIU defeating Middle Tennessee 7-5 here in Miami yesterday afternoon. Louisiana Tech beat Liberty for the second straight game by a score of 9-6. Dallas Baptist beat Western Kentucky 5-3, and Jacksonville State able to even up the series against Kennesaw State with a 5-4 win. They'll have the rubber match in Jacksonville, Alabama later on today. It will be Jordan Vargas who will be on the mound for FIU. We'll see him in just a moment. Middle Tennessee will lead off with Owen Nowak, Cooper Clapp, and Tyler Minnick. 1, 2, and 3 due up in the order here in Miami. This game will get off to a little bit of a later start due to the Senior Day festivities. So we're going to take one more 1-minute timeout. When we come back, we will have Blue Raider baseball officially here from Florida International University, and the rubber match from the Panthers and the Blue Raiders will get started right here on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Bring your game day style courtside with a stop at Lightning's locker room on the concourse. From bold new drops to timeless campus classics, we've got everything you need to turn heads from class to tip-off. Whether you're rocking a hoodie in the student section or sporting a tee around town, your look says it loud. You're here for the wins, the energy, and the tradition. So step up your style and your spirit, because at Lightning's locker room, the season never slows down, and every fan plays a part in the hype. Let's make every day feel like game day.
Locally grown, Blue Raider proud. This is Jonathan Harmon with the J. Harmon Home Team. As an MTSU alumnus and lifelong Rutherford County resident, I bring the heart of a teacher, the grit of a Blue Raider, and over 15 years of real estate experience to every client. Honest to a fault, connected to the community, and driven to serve. I don't just help you buy or sell, I help you understand every step. The J. Harmon Home Team, where real estate meets real talk.
The Blue Raiders are on News Radio WGNS.
Welcome back to Miami, Florida, and we are just 1 minute and 50 seconds away from getting this rubber match between Middle Tennessee and FIU underway. Game 3 of this incredible series. It has been a heck of a ride so far, and we can't wait to write the final chapter of this second weekend of May series here this afternoon. Middle Tennessee enters the day 24-26 overall. They are 11-15 in conference play. Meanwhile, FIU is 16-34, and they are 7-19 in Conference USA play. Middle Tennessee trying to pick up their first CUSA Road Series win of the year, and they can do so if they can defeat FIU this afternoon. Middle Tennessee, historically this year, has had some struggles with road opponents, but they came in full of confidence this weekend, and talking to a lot of the players today, a lot of what they're concerned about is mainly the heat. They know it's going to be an exceptionally warm day, but they're excited and they have the belief that they can get the job done against FIU. They think that yesterday's game, although a tough loss to stomach, isn't going to define how they play today, and they are fully confident in their performance and their ability to get the job done. And that attitude is reflected in their head coach, Jerry Myers. he has been making sure to spell out to the players all weekend to go out there and enjoy the ride, have fun, and understand what you have in front of you. That's been the message permeating from Middle Tennessee throughout this series, and they've played like it. And that belief will hopefully be enough to carry them to a victory today against FIU. Panthers will be with blue shirts today, gold numbers on the back. They have white pants. Middle Tennessee, all gray look today. Very nice, very fresh for this road matchup on a Sunday afternoon. And hopefully that won't conduct as much heat for the Blue Raiders as well. Owen Nowak will lead off for Middle Tennessee. He'll be followed by Cooper Clapp and Tyler Minnick, and they'll be taking on Jordan Vargas. 27 2/3 innings pitched on the year with a 1-0 record and 8 walks issued, 16 earned runs given up. It's time to settle the score here in Miami. FIU, Middle Tennessee, one more time. And Vargas's first pitch of the day is a fastball for a strike as the count moves to 0-1. Underway from Miami, with the thoughts of yesterday's game still ringing in the minds of these Blue Raiders. High pitch from Vargas is going to miss the zone. Count evens at 1-1 strike. There's one benefit to the heat that MTSU has for today. It's that they've been in it all weekend, so going to be a little more acclimated from that standpoint. It's not going to be anything they're not used to in a certain sense. Still different than what you'd experience in Tennessee, but at least you got that couple days experience in front of you. Count it 2-1 as the last pitch for Vargas went high. Fastball to Nowak, lifted and fouled towards the left side. Count evens at 2-2. Owen Nowak yesterday for Middle Tennessee ended up going for 2 hits and 1 RBI against the Panthers. Always a consistent option to lead off for MTSU and one of the top run scorers in the conference. 2-2, and that pitch well inside by Vargas. Count will run full at 3-2 strikes. So already a payoff pitch here in the top half of the first inning. Let's see how Nowak handles it. Here's the 3-2 offering. Ground ball right side, picked up by Fisher, throws on to first, and that's a 4-3 for out number 1. Really nice job by Sammy Fisher. Had to drift a little more to the right than I'm sure a second baseman is used to, but he was able to collect that thing with his glove hand and quickly got it over to Aiden Cohall for the out. 1 away in the top half of the first inning. So here comes Cooper Clapp, who delivered a solo home run shot over the right field fence yesterday against FIU to start the contest. And he'd love to go double or nothing here in Miami on a Sunday afternoon as Vargas's pitch misses high. Count goes to 1-0. On Friday for Middle Tennessee, Cooper Clapp ended up with 1 run, no hits in that contest. Made sure to quickly amend that yesterday, though. This pitch well inside by Vargas. Count goes to 2-0. Cooper Clapp entering the weekend with a .315 batting average, 25 RBIs. He has a season-high 4 hits against Belmont back on April 14th. 2-0 pitch from Vargas. High, it looked like, but delivered in for a strike. Count goes to 2-1. Just clipped that top part of the zone to get a strike on Clapp. 2 lefties in the order to lead off for Middle Tennessee in this top half of the first inning. 2-1 pitch, and that'll be foul towards the palm trees on the left side of the stadium. Count goes to 2-2. There aren't palm trees in the outfield necessarily, but there are that kind of guard the stadium, for lack of a better term, overhanging the parking lot. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Clapp with 1 out. Nobody on base. And a swing and a miss. High fastball from Jordan Vargas hits the mark for a strikeout swinging. 2 down here in the top half of the first inning. Tyler Minnick will come to the plate for Middle Tennessee. Back behind the dish today for the Blue Raiders, senior out of Smyrna, Georgia. Played his prep ball at Mount Perrin Christian School and transferred in from Georgia Tech. Season high 4 runs batted in against Alabama A&M. Here's a foul ball toward the left side. Count will be at 0-1. Started all 55 games last year for MTSU. He was, in many ways, Mr. Reliable. Great at the plate, and there when you needed him. 0-1 pitch. Vargas gets it in there for a strike. Count now at 0-2. Really nice off speed for Vargas that time. And now the opportunity at a second straight strikeout very much present for number 27. Here's the 0-2. And this one just to the outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Tyler Minnick. Blue Raiders have gotten off to quick starts the last 2 days. Trying to have it happen once again here in the Sunday matinee. 1-2, and that's high for ball number 2. Just missed by Vargas. We'll see if he tries that fastball again on Minnick here. He got clap on a fastball a second ago. 2's across the board. Here's the offering from Vargas, and that is low and outside for ball 3. So good work by Tyler Minnick. He has gotten the count full. Entered the weekend tied for 10th in Conference USA in runs batted in, and tied for 6th in the CUSA in doubles as well. Great extra base hitter. Payoff pitch from Vargas, and here's a drive foul just to the left of the left field line to keep the count full. Needed a little bit more of an angle to the right to stay in the field of play, and that thing could have possibly rolled all the way to the left field corner had it done so. Instead, we try the 3-2 again. Another payoff pitch. Here's a ball hit towards the second baseman on the ground, picked up by Fisher, who throws on to first for out number 3. So that'll do it for the top half of the first inning. MTSU gets 1-2-3 by Jordan Vargas and the FIU defense, and that'll take us on to the bottom half of the first. 0-0 between the Blue Raiders and the Panthers. Back in 1 on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
Will Fraley, attorney at law, has experience you can count on. Former Blue Raider baseball player and MTSU alum Will Fraley serves Murfreesboro and the surrounding communities. Put a strong and experienced legal fighter on your case. Give Will Fraley a call and he can handle all of your legal matters, including criminal and domestic or family law. Visit willfraleylaw.com or call 615-410-7290.
Rutherford County's MTSU station, News Radio WGNS.
Back here to Miami, Florida, Dylan Simmons with you on this Mother's Day. Transitioning into afternoon. I was going to say afternoon, but it's technically still morning time back in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Your score after one frame of baseball, 0-0 between the Blue Raiders and the FIU Panthers. And taking the mound for the first time since March for MTSU is Drew Horn. Great to see him back on the bump. The 5'11", 185 redshirt junior from Smyrna, Tennessee, enters today with a 6.28 ERA, a 2-1 record with 36 strikeouts. And, of course, he is coming off, in his last appearance, a great outing against New Mexico State with 6 innings pitched, a season high, and 6 strikeouts against the Aggies. He'll have to contend, though, with an FIU lineup that has been very effective this weekend. 16 combined runs over the last 2 days, including 7 yesterday, to find their way to a 2-run victory. And remember, folks, FIU scored all 7 of their runs off of homers. So that is one area for sure that MTSU is looking to clean up. Sammy Fisher will lead off for FIU, and we'll get our first look at Drew Horn in the month of May. Horn's first pitch is a fastball, softly hit along the third base line, and oh my goodness, that's going to stay fair. It's going to be an infield single for Sammy Fisher as MTSU is banking on that thing rolling to the left of the third base line. They all stayed away from it. Unfortunately, well, the dirt was not MTSU's friend in that situation. So a runner aboard for FIU, and that will bring on Mario Trivella. Sometimes if you don't have bad luck, you have no luck, and that was the situation where it happened for MTSU. We'll see if they've got a little bit of better luck with Mario Trivella. Shortstop for the Panthers. Tried to lay down a bunt and ended up fouling it off as the count goes to 0-1. Yesterday for FIU, Mario Trivella was also in the 2 spot. Ended up with no hits, but did reach twice on a hit by pitch. I'm sure he wants a less painful route to the base today. Already got Fisher at first. Chance to possibly bring in an early run. Count at 0-1. Horn's pitch just a little bit high. Count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. And of course, when you're back on the mound for the first time in a long time like this, it can take a second for some pitchers to refine that form. We know Drew's been practicing, but it's still a lot different compared to in-game experience, and every pitcher who's out there will tell you that. Pickoff attempted back to first, so we'll have to see if there's any rust for him or if he can just jump straight back into it and dominate as he's done so many times. A 1-1 pitch coming up to Mario Trivella. And this ball will be lifted high and deep over to left field, and it is gone. Mario Trivella with a 2-run home run that puts the Panthers on top 2-0 in the bottom half of the first inning. And I'm sure FIU fans will be calling him Super Mario after that home run. And what a way to start things off for FIU on the Panthers Senior Day. A no-doubter over the left field fence. That'll bring on Cooper Rasmussen to the plate, and just like that, FIU picks up where they left off in yesterday's competition. Cooper Rasmussen will come to the plate for FIU, number 3 man in the order. Already a couple of men on board here in this first inning. This pitch high, count goes to 1-0, but again, those mistakes, they're going to happen, especially when you're coming in for the first time in a while. Drew's just got to stand in there and keep fighting. And he delivers a hit by pitch. Caught Rasmussen on the right side of the body. Lefty batter will make his way over to first base with the HBP. Brings on the cleanup man, Andrew Ildefonso for FIU. Right-handed batter who yesterday made a big impact in the game against Middle Tennessee as he was able to get 1 hit, but it was a big one, a solo home run shot that helped FIU get the scoring started early. And after already seeing a 2-run home run here, we'll see if he's got more in mind. Pitch on the way from Horn is going to be low for ball number 1. Count goes to 1 ball, no strikes. Ildefonso with a .275 average this season, .349 on base percentage, 56 hits, 33 runs batted in. No outs yet in the bottom half of the first inning. Horn tries a fastball, but just misses the zone. Count goes to 2-0. Just placed it a little bit high, it looks like. Umpiring crew taking a good look at it. 2-0 pitch coming up with a runner at first. Horn delivers it low and outside. It gets past Minnick, and that will advance Rasmussen on to second off the wild pitch. Count goes to 3-0. Umpiring crew today, home plate umpires Christopher Tipton. At first base, it's Lee Canizero. And at third base, it is Joel Parrish. So, same crew that we've had the last couple days, just in different positions. So Ildefonso, the left fielder, has a 3-0 count to contend with and a runner at second. Certainly a hitter's count. As Tyler Minnick having a conversation with Drew Horn on the bump, just trying to get everything squared away. Make sure that he's ready to go for this 3-0 count. But this is certainly not what MTSU wanted to see early on. FIU getting off to a accelerated start, we'll say. And trying to keep it going. 3-0 coming up to Ildefonso. Rasmussen in scoring position. Horn's pitch just clips the top of the zone for a strike. Count goes to 3-1. And that was a really nice adjustment after that brief time out there for Drew Horn. Now can he make it work on a 3-1? Taking his time here, inside of 5 on the pitch clock. Here's a little looper hit toward shallow right, and it gets down for a base hit. Getting the stop sign at third is Rasmussen. It's going to be a single for Andrew Ildefonso, and another runner aboard for FIU here in the bottom half of the first inning. Aiden Kohal will come to the plate. Runners at the corners for FIU. Now, Kohal has been a thorn in the side of MTSU all weekend. Already a couple home runs, and Jerry Myers making his way out of the Blue Raider dugout. Drew Horn struggling in his return so far against these FIU Panthers. And he's in a somewhat unenviable position because he's coming back, again, for the first time in over a month. And not only that, he's got to contend with this really pressurized Miami Heat, as I'll describe it, which is a whole nother element to face off with. He's having to contend with all of that, and he's having to deal with a lineup that's been hitting at an incredible rate all weekend long. So runners at the corners here for FIU. Rasmussen is 90 feet away from coming home. Ildefonso at first, and there's still no outs in the bottom half of the first inning. But Middle Tennessee trying to stay undeterred here. Kohal is a lefty batter. As I said a moment ago, already 2 home runs against Middle Tennessee this weekend, including a solo home run shot yesterday. It was his lone hit of the contest, but added a run for the Panthers. Count at 1-0. Pitch on the way from Horn. Breaking ball that's just outside. Count moves to 2 balls and no strikes. Kohal out of the Bronx, New York, redshirt junior. Transfer from Stonehill. Was one of the top batters in the NEC just a season ago. 2-0 count. And that's more like it for Drew Horn. Nice pitch for a strike. Count goes to 2-1. Again, it's mostly towards the top of the zone with Drew Horn, but he's able to fit it in so well. Has really good positioning on his pitches. Just trying to find that more consistently today. 2-1 pitch to Kohal. And a swing and a miss. Count goes to 2-2. Nice work by Drew Horn and a chance to get some redemption on Aiden Kohal here. And maybe round into form a little bit in this bottom half of the first. And getting out on the Panthers. Kohal has struck out on 43 at-bats this year. And he just fouls this one to keep the plate appearance alive. This is Kohal's 156th AB of the season, so he's striking out a little under 1/3 of the time he's at the plate. Pretty aggressive overall. And that could work to Drew Horn's advantage here. So here comes another 2-2. Horn's pitch is low this time for ball number 3. Almost at the shoes of Kohal. And we've got another payoff pitch coming up. Saw a couple of these in the top half of the first. MTSU couldn't quite capitalize enough on it. We'll see if Kohal can here. What does Drew Horn have in store on this payoff pitch? 3-2, and a foul ball. Oh, right into a sign here at the FIU Baseball Stadium that says watch for foul balls. And the sign was not watching for the foul ball. So another 3-2 coming up. And again, Kohal staying persistent at the plate. FIU 3 for 3 so far in this game. Full count once again. Here's the 3-2 offering, and there's the strikeout that Drew Horn was looking for. A little bit of redemption here for Drew Horn in this bottom half of the first inning. He gets Kohal swinging. And the runner from first, Andrew Ildefonso, in all of that, went ahead and took second. I don't think Drew Horn's going to be too upset about that. It'll send on Enrique Alvarez Jr. Couple runners in scoring position now for FIU. And maybe now Drew Horn will use that as a confidence boost to get himself in position to start to dominate this FIU lineup. But he's facing off with another lefty batter here. Here's a chopper on the right side, picked up by Clapp, underhand toss to first to O'Neill for the second out. However, Cooper Rasmussen will come across, so it's now a 3-0 FIU lead. It'll be an RBI for Enrique Alvarez Jr. on a 4-3, and that will send on Caden Samler.
Number 16, Caden Samler.
Andrew Ildefonso advanced to third on that play as well. And Caden Samler, I think a name that most MTSU fans would rather not hear after what he did in yesterday's game against the Blue Raiders, as he delivered a heartbreaking 2-run home run over the left field wall just out of the reach of Nathan Brewer's glove to allow FIU to win that second game 7-5. 1-0 pitch delivered for a swing and a miss on Samler. Count goes to 1-1. And again, a 4-home run performance for FIU yesterday. The run they just brought in a second ago, the first run scored on anything other than a home run since Friday. Here's a ball popped up on the right side. O'Neill camping underneath it. Makes the catch and foul ground for out number 3. So after a tough start in the bottom half of the first inning, pretty good redemption for Drew Horn. Still a 3-0 lead for FIU, including a 2-run home run from Mario Trivella. Local man has the Panthers on top by 3. Back for the top of the second in 1 minute on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
The Blue Raiders are winners in the classroom, on the field, and the courts. Richard Lewis here. I want you to win in real estate also. Buying, selling, auction here in Tennessee, or along the Gulf Coast, a second home, or investing. Give me a call to help start that winning process. 615-319-9981. Oh, I'm never too busy for your referrals. Richard Lewis, Exit Realty, Bob Lamb & Associates.
The Blue Raiders play here. News Radio WGNS.
Rubber match through 1 inning here between Middle Tennessee and FIU. Panthers on top 3-0 over the Blue Raiders after a 3-run bottom half of the first inning, including a 2-run home run from the junior out of Caracas, Venezuela, Mario Trivella. And he's got his team up by a pretty significant amount. MTSU will be looking to respond against Jordan Vargas and the FIU defense here in the top half of the second inning. And they've got a pretty good guy to do it. Nathan Brewer, the number 4 man in the lineup, will lead off for the Blue Raiders here. He'll be followed by Lane Akers and Brett Rogers, 4, 5, 6 due up. Brewer, the new home run leader on this MTSU squad. And, of course, that due to the event that we've mentioned a lot this weekend, but for good reason, the record-breaking Conference USA home run game on Friday. Now has 12 home runs on the season. And the first pitch from Vargas will be delivered here for ball number 1. And, of course, Jordan Vargas has plenty of experience against Nathan Brewer. Pitched against him on Friday. Didn't end too well for Vargas, so he's hoping for a little redemption today. And in an interesting development, and I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, considering what we've seen so far, Nathan does have a number 8 jersey on today, so no more 47. Count it 2-0. Considering he had the historic outing in the 47, I don't know if some fans would rather him wear that number or stick with the 8, but either way, he's got the 8 back. Count it 2-1 here. And that pitch just finds the inside corner for a strike. Count goes to 2-2. Brewer with a 307 average, 382 on base percentage. 55 hits so far this season in 179 at-bats. The 2-2. And that fastball just misses the zone from Vargas. And the count runs full at 3-2, and that's one thing I always admire about batters is their ability to distinguish what's a ball and what's a strike, because it can be just inches between the two. Payoff pitch coming up. Brewer, fly ball deep into right center field. It's going to drop down and be caught by the shortstop. Mario Trivella came all the way over and made that catch in the middle part of center field as that ball kind of drifted around for a sec. And that was a really solid job to bring that ball in for the out. That'll bring on Lane Akers for MTSU. Not often you see a fly out to the shortstop. Akers will try to amend for that. The designated hitter looking for a big day today. 322 average on the year, 541 slugging percentage. 47 hits, 30 RBIs to go along with 7 home runs. One out here in the top of the second. Vargas just misses on this offering. Count goes to 1-0. Yesterday, Lane Akers had 1 hit and 1 run for the Blue Raiders. Watches a 1-0 go by here for a strike. Count evens at 1-1. And this is part of that patience at the plate that MTSU has to have. But you've also got to know when to be aggressive as well. 1-1 from Vargas, just fouled off by Akers. Count goes to 1-2. And that can be a very difficult dynamic to establish, because a lot of times these pitches from Vargas are coming in very close to the zone, so it's tough to say exactly where they're going to end up, and you've got to be well aware of where you are in the box and where the ball's landing in the box. 1-2 pitch from Vargas, and a swing and a miss. Akers reached for it, couldn't get under it, and that will be strike number 3 and out number 2 here in the top of the second. Second strikeout for Jordan Vargas in this game so far. Brett Rogers will come to the plate for Middle Tennessee. Rogers was kind of the offensive star of the show for Middle Tennessee yesterday. 2 hits and 3 runs to go along with 1 RBI in the contest. And he's going to deliver a fly ball deep to left field, back towards the wall, but caught on the run right at the warning track by Andrew Ildefonso for out number 3. So MTSU gets 1-2-3 again by the Panthers, and FIU maintains the 3-0 lead. Back for the bottom of the second in Miami in 1 minute on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Las Casas Drugs is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, located at 4702 Las Casas Pike, just minutes from Murfreesboro. Las Casas Drugs strives to provide all of your pharmaceutical needs in that hometown atmosphere you deserve. Family-owned and operated, Las Casas Drugs offers free delivery, immunizations, drive-through window, gift shop, merchandise, and medication management programs. Come by and see how we can make a difference. And go Blue Raiders!
Bring your game day style courtside with a stop at Lightning's locker room on the concourse. From bold new drops to timeless campus classics, we've got everything you need to turn heads from class to tip-off. Whether you're rocking a hoodie in the student section or sporting a tee around town, your look says it loud. You're here for the wins, the energy, and the tradition. So step up your style and your spirit, because at Lightning's locker room, the season never slows down, and every fan plays a part in the hype. Let's make every day feel like game day.
WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
Welcome back to the FIU Baseball Stadium. We've reached the bottom half of the second inning between FIU and Middle Tennessee in today's Sunday rubber match here in Miami, Florida. Your score, FIU 3, Middle Tennessee 0. And the curious question on the mind of a lot of folks, I'd say, is what will we see in this bottom half of the second after FIU put up 3 runs in the bottom half of the first. 2 of those courtesy of a Mario Trivella 2-run homer. Do the Panthers have another inning like that in them, or can Drew Horn limit the damage that FIU does? Hector Candelas is at the plate, 8-9-1 due up for FIU in this frame. Horn delivers a fastball here, and it's going to be just a little bit off. Count goes to 1-0. He did a good job towards the latter part of that last frame he pitched in to rebound against this Panthers lineup. Looking for more of that here as that's fouled off by Candelas toward the Blue Raider dugout. Count goes to 1-1. Now the FIU lineup in yesterday's game towards the bottom part of the lineup was not as explosive as the top part. And that could play into Drew Horn's situation here. Count at 1-1. Just misses this one outside. Count at 2 balls and 1 strike. But the final 4 hitters for FIU in yesterday's game did not manage a hit. So that kind of tells the story of who dominated, as Drew Horn with a nice breaking ball for a strike. Count goes to 2-2. That could allow for Drew Horn to make this a quick bottom of the second if everything goes according to plan. Is 2-2, driven into right field, but right there to make the catch is Brett Rogers for out number 1. Good job by Rogers to step up and find that baseball. That'll send on Cole Cleveland for FIU. Center fielder for the Panthers. Yesterday against Middle Tennessee, Cleveland did score 1 run, but did not get any hits in 3 at-bats. Struck out twice, did reach once on a hit by pitch. Drew Horn looking to make quick work of him in the bottom of the second. Low pitch here, count goes to 1-0. FIU with a lot of lefty batters in the lineup today. In fact, I count a total of 6, which is usually an MTSU staple, but the Panthers have it even more so in today's contest. But Drew Horn showing he's not afraid of it right now as he delivers a nice breaking ball for a strike. Count goes to 1-1. Blue Raiders have 5 lefties in the order today, so 11 total lefty batters in this game. 1-1 count. Horn to the outside as the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Panthers have 1 CUSA Series win this season against Kennesaw State back in the month of March. It was here in Miami. Count at 2-1 and a strike for Drew Horn. Count evens at 2-2. Panthers have won 7 total conference games this season with 19 conference losses. Currently sitting at 11th in the CUSA standings, needing a lot of help to get back into the tournament picture. 2-2 from Horn, a little low for ball number 3. And FIU has had a lot of struggles on the road. Just 1 road win all season. And they'll have to go on the road for their final CUSA Road Series of the season against New Mexico State. So they'll have to fly all the way to Las Cruces for that series. 3-2 breaking ball by Horn and a called strike 3 on Cole Cleveland. Drew Horn starting to show his stuff in this bottom half of the second inning. That is now his 2nd strikeout of the game, and will send on Sammy Fisher. Fisher got a leadoff single earlier in this contest, but you can almost see the confidence building for Drew Horn right now, and I have to believe that's not going anywhere. As he finds a strike, count goes to 0-1. And if that's the kind of Drew Horn we're going to get for the rest of this game, this could be a very tough trial for FIU to deal with. Fastball just to the outside, off the glove of Minnick. Count goes to 1-1. Nobody on base, though, so nothing to worry about. Fisher, of course, had that single earlier, a very awkward single that just kind of rolled along the third base line and stayed in. There's a breaking ball for a strike from Drew Horn. Count goes to 1-2. MTSU was banking on it rolling out. It never did. And so Fisher got to take first. But doesn't look like he's going to have anything like that in this inning, we'd assume. 1-2 pitch from Horn. And there's a strike 3. Another K looking against the FIU Panthers, and all of a sudden Drew Horn is picking him up and putting him down against FIU. 2 Ks in the bottom half of the second, and the score remains Panthers 3, Blue Raiders 0. Back for the top of the third to see if the MTSU Bats can generate some offense on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Hey, Blue Raider fans, this is Brad Hopkins with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates. Winning in real estate is a lot like football. Good coaching and recruiting a great team are the keys. I put together a team of lenders, inspectors, and home professionals to help you succeed. Let me coach you through this process and make sure you come out a winner. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, I am here to help you win. Visit BradHopkinsHomes.com or call 615-556-9239 to find out more.
At State Farm, when home and auto work as a team, you score and save money. I'm State Farm agent Andy Wama. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let's work together to win big by saving money on home and auto. With the service you get from State Farm, you might think our car insurance costs more. I'm State Farm agent Andy Wama. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let me show you with discounts up to 40%. You may find it even costs less.
You're listening to MTSU Sports on WGNS.
Welcome back to Miami, Florida. Sunday afternoon baseball between the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders and the FIU Panthers. Hope you are enjoying your Mother's Day wherever you may be listening in from. And hopefully you're enjoying the broadcast so far. Top half of the third inning on deck between Middle Tennessee and FIU. Panthers on top 3-0. But held scoreless in the bottom half of the second inning after a brilliant frame by Drew Horn. A couple of strikeouts looking on the Panthers, contributing to a quick frame for FIU. And now Middle Tennessee's offense trying to return the favor against the Panthers' defense. Dean O'Neill will lead off in this inning for MTSU. Hasn't gotten a hit yet this weekend, but I'd say he and everyone else feels like he's due at this point in time, and he may just have something special for FIU. Swing and a miss, though, on this pitch from Vargas. Count goes to 0-1. Give credit to Jordan Vargas. He's done a really nice job against these Middle Tennessee batters so far. 2 strikeouts with no hits given up. Low pitch here as the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Entered the day with a 5.20 ERA on the season. 1-1 pitch to O'Neill, and here's a ball popped up into foul ground on the right side, and Vargas comes in to make the catch. He was reading that one the whole way and located it to get the out on O'Neill. That'll bring on Brett Von Dolan, the number 8 man in the order for Middle Tennessee. The Raiders 0 for 7 to start the day against Vargas and FIU. We'll see if Vondo can crack the code of Vargas right now. Yesterday for Middle Tennessee, Von Dolan had 1 hit with 2 RBIs at the number 8 spot in the lineup. He's back in the number 8 spot today. It was a very awkward RBI single that just stayed in, but got it to work regardless. Now trying to generate a similar type of magic here. Blue Raiders entered the weekend as the number 6 team in CUSA in batting average. Number 7 in runs, 3rd in doubles, and 3rd in homers. 6th in RBIs. Von Dolan chases after it and misses. Count evens at 1-1. So offensively, they are in some ways towards the middle of the pack, but in some ways also towards the top. Depends which area you're talking about. Pitch in the dirt here from Vargas outside. Count goes to 2-1. The long ball has certainly been their friend thus far this year. One of the biggest assets that MTSU has had at their disposal. And it made all the difference on Friday. Of course, it made all the difference for FIU yesterday. 2-1 pitch. Von Dolan fouls this one off of the plate. Count evens at 2-2. So, if you want to tell the story of this series so far, I think you could argue it's been a series defined by the home run productivity of both teams. And so far, I think that's remained the case today. 2-2, Von Dolan swing and a miss. Jordan Vargas just having a heater of a day against the Blue Raiders. He's now thrown a strikeout in each inning he's pitched so far. 3 Ks on the Blue Raiders, and that'll send on Clay Badalak. MTSU is 1-2-3 in the first and second innings, and they may be on the verge of having it happen again here in the top half of the third inning, unless Clay Badalak has something to say about that. Badalak with a 201 average, 259 slugging percentage, 576 OPS, with 28 hits, 26 runs, and he fouls this one back. Count goes to 0-1. Trying to get something going for MTSU, which hasn't been hard for them this weekend. And they had success against Vargas too, but that was when he came in as a reliever. As a starter, he's been much more effective so far. 0-1 to Badalak, and here's a fly ball over to left field, down the left field line, and coming in to make the catch is Trivella, the shortstop. Second time he's kind of come out of nowhere to get a fly ball, and that will end the top half of the third inning. Middle Tennessee once again comes up empty against FIU, and the score remains 3-0 after a 1-2-3 inning. Jordan Vargas dominating so far. Back for the bottom of the third in 1 minute on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
At Middle Tennessee Electric, we see the lines that link us all, illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Because we believe in the power of good energy. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart. And as your family and our region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
Hey folks, it's Chip Walters from Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, helping Middle Tennessee make smart moves in a fast-moving market. Whether you're buying, selling, or just exploring your options, you deserve someone who knows this community and treats your goals like their own. From first-timers to long-time homeowners, I'm here to guide you with clarity, confidence, and a steady hand. When you're ready to make the next move, start with someone you trust. Visit choosechip.net and let's make your 2026 move the right move.
The Blue Raiders are on News Radio WGNS.
Back here in Miami, Florida, Dylan Simmons with you. Bottom half of the third inning between Middle Tennessee and FIU here at the FIU Baseball Stadium. 3-0 is your score with FIU on top. And there's a new pitcher on the mound for Middle Tennessee. Cole Torbett takes his spot on the bump. So Drew Horn's day comes to an end. Didn't have the best start to the game, but rounded into form well in the second inning. He ends up with 2 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, 3 earned runs given up. All of those runs in the first inning, and goes for 38 total pitches today against FIU. We'll see what Torbett can do against this FIU squad. Of course, he did pitch a little bit on Friday out of the bullpen and has been the Sunday starter in a few games as of late. Torbett went for 1 inning against FIU on Saturday and was awarded with the win against the Panthers. Gave up 2 earned runs with 1 strikeout in that inning. And now going to face off with Mario Trivella, who already has a 2-run homer in this game, the junior out of Caracas, Venezuela. Breaking ball by Cole Torbett. Finds the zone for a strike. Count goes to 0-1. Torbett certainly has consistency in his pitch style, and it's been a huge asset for him all season. But here's a fly ball to right field by Trivella, racing into foul ground, and Brett Rogers just unable to make the catch. The wind may have caught that one a little bit, changed its direction as it was screeching along that right field line. Count goes to 0-2. And they've got a pretty cool feature here for Senior Day. The mothers of the players, it looks like, are going to do the PA announcing for some of their walkouts. That's what just happened with Mario Trivella, so that's a pretty cool feature, I would say. 0-2 pitch from Cole Torbett. Breaking ball just high. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mario Trivella transferred in from the State College of Florida and has the team lead in home runs this season. As Torbett takes his time. Here's a ground ball, and it goes off the glove of Brett Von Dolan and races all the way to the left field corner. Trivella rounding first. He'll get to second standing up, and that'll be a leadoff double for FIU here in this bottom half of the third inning. That'll bring on Cooper Rasmussen, who's already reached on a hit by pitch. And that was going to be a tough play for Vondo to make over there along the third base line. It came at him with such force and velocity and took an awkward bounce in the dirt that there really wasn't much that Von Dolan could do as it went by him and off of him. So Trivella with the leadoff double, and that will send on Cooper Rasmussen. Mario Trivella, already a 2-run homer, and now a double on the day. Rasmussen at the plate. Breaking ball from Torbett, finds the zone for a strike. Count at 0-1. Now FIU has had trouble holding leads this season, so that's one thing that MTSU, no matter what, is going to be able to hold their hats on here. And the good news for Cole Torbett is that throughout the season, he's been able to overcome setbacks early in innings and find a way to shut down any potential rally from the opposition. Count at 1-1 here. Torbett, fastball, lifted toward the right side of the field into foul ground, racing toward the MTSU bullpen, and it's going to land right in the bullpen. O'Neill almost had a play on it, but the count will be at 1-2. Rasmussen expected to have a big weekend. He's been pretty quiet, though, against Middle Tennessee so far. Yesterday against MTSU, Rasmussen did not have a hit against the Blue Raiders. On Friday against MTSU, Rasmussen also had 2 hits, so a little bit better on Friday, but still looking for that big signature shot. Here's a ground ball down the right field line that is just fouled. So the count will stay at 1-2. Rasmussen, though, much as he did earlier, standing strong against the MTSU pitcher, but this time it's Cole Torbett instead of Drew Horn. Count at 1-2 with no outs. Trivella at second. He has stolen 4 bases this season. Here's a high fly ball into left center field. Back is Nowak, and he will make the catch for out 1. Throws on to third, trying to get Trivella, but he'll make it there easily and be safe at third base. 1 away here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Still a heck of an effort from Owen Nowak. The problem was the ball was hit to the deepest part of left center field, so really wasn't any way he was going to be able to get it to third in time. As that brings on Andrew Ildefonso. Ildefonso has a single already today, and he needs just a fly out here to bring in Mario Trivella and give FIU a 4-0 lead. Middle Tennessee wants to make sure that does not happen. We were in a similar situation yesterday late in the game, and if you'll remember, MTSU ended up delivering an RBI bunt that ended up scoring the tying run. So curious if FIU will try to take that route. Doesn't appear that's going to be the case, as this is fouled over into the FIU dugout by Ildefonso. That'll even the count at 1-1. Looked as though late in that game yesterday that everything was set up for a potential top of the 9th classic from MTSU, maybe even extra innings, but Caden Hamler's 2-run home run saw to it that that did not happen. As this pitch is going to be a hit-by pitch on Andrew Ildefonso that will send him on to first base. So runners at the corners for FIU as Torbett kind of lost the handle of that one. Second time Ildefonso has made it on base today. Misspoke earlier, it was Samler with the home run. Said Hamler for some odd reason. Jerry Myers making his way over toward the bump to go talk to Cole Torbett. And we'll see what he wants to do here. Torbett trying to talk to Myers about the current situation and what is taking place here for MTSU. I don't expect a pitching change. Obviously, with Torbett really just coming into this contest, and there will not be. Myers just wanting to make sure his pitcher's under control and everything's working the way that it needs to. But certainly, you don't want to allow FIU to extend what's already a fairly imposing 3-0 lead. Aiden Cohall will come to the plate for FIU. Trivella standing strong at third with Ildefonso at first. Can Cole Torbett rebound and find a way to get a second out? Breaking ball, chopped toward the right side, picked up by Clapp, throws on to second for one out, throw to first, is going to take O'Neal off the bag. Safe at first base is Kohal, and Trivella scores. So FIU now on top by a score of 4-0, and it will be Aiden Kohal who will deliver the RBI. Out at second is Andrew Ildefonso. Kohal safe at first, and that'll bring on Enrique Alvarez Jr.
Number 36, Enrique Alvarez Jr.
4-0 lead for the Panthers, and I think it was a good decision by Clapp to throw on to second. Wanted to try to get the double play, but it was going to be very tough with the speed that Kohal has demonstrated all weekend. Just couldn't get the throw in accurately enough from second from Clay Badalak. But they do get the leadoff runner. 2 away, count at 1-0. And if they're able to keep this at a 4-0 game after all that we've seen in this inning, that's still probably considered a win, all things considered. Alvarez Jr. does have an RBI in this game on a ground out to second base. Count at 2-0. Speedy Kohal at first, as this is fouled into the netting. And it's going to stay right up there, I think. Count at 2-1. Caden Samler on deck for FIU. As a team, Panthers hitting 4 for 12 so far in this game. Count at 2-1 for Cole Torbett. And this is just fouled by Alvarez Jr. to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Middle Tennessee hoping to shut down this inning quickly and maybe get the bats roaring in the top of the 4th to restart this offense and in some ways restart this game for MTSU. Put themselves in position to take the series. 2-2 pitch coming up. Torbett just missed the zone on the breaking ball, and the count runs full. 3-2. That was great discipline at the plate by the DH Enrique Alvarez Jr. to not swing at that. And we'll try the payoff pitch with 2 outs. Torbett fastball and just missed the zone for ball 4. Alvarez Jr. will make his way over to first with a base on balls. Kohal advances to second. 2 aboard for FIU. Caden Samler will come to the plate. 0 for 1 so far today. But again, still very fresh in the minds of MTSU fans after his 2-run home run last night to lift FIU to that victory. Cole Torbett just trying to find the zone consistently and get a strikeout on Caden Samler. Places this pitch a little bit high. Count goes to 1-0. But the Panthers bats, as they've been doing all weekend, finding success against Middle Tennessee defensively so far. 1-0 pitch. Line shot that gets past Cooper Clapp at second base. Coming around is Kohal. He will score. Here's the throw to third, and it will be in time. No, instead, Enrique Alvarez Jr. is safe at third base. Samler safe at second. The throw was in time to Brett Von Dolan, but apparently he didn't apply the tag properly on Enrique Alvarez Jr. It's a 5-0 game with the Panthers on top, and it's an RBI for Caden Samler once again. So what looked to be an inning-ending out instead has runners safe at second and third for FIU, with Hector Candelas coming to the plate. And that is disappointment on top of disappointment for Middle Tennessee. Caden Samler will be awarded with an RBI single and did advance to second on the throw officially. As this pitch is in for a strike from Torbett, count goes to 0-1. And MTSU trying to avoid letting this lead cascade anymore with Candelas at the plate. Torbett breaking ball, able to get strike 2. Count goes to 0 balls and 2 strikes. Candelas flew a ball out to Brett Rogers, his first time up today. Trying to capitalize on the 0-2. Fastball zipped wide by Torbett. Count at 1 ball, 2 strikes here. True test for a pitcher in these situations after giving up runs like that, to just stay confident in yourself and your abilities. Torbett breaking ball, lifted and fouled towards the right side. It's going to land over towards the bus that took us here to the baseball stadium this morning. Count at 1-2. Hector Candelas with 11 hits, 11 runs, and 6 RBIs on the season so far. He has struck out 17 times this season. Count at 1-2. Pitch delivered by Torbett, and a swing and a miss by Candelas. That will be a strikeout swinging and a needed one to end the bottom half of the third inning. Torbett's first strikeout. But FIU puts 2 runs on the scoreboard, an RBI single from Caden Samler and an RBI on a fielder's choice from Aiden Kohal. Panthers up big early, Middle looking for a response in the top of the fourth. Back in 1 minute to Miami on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Las Casas Drugs is a
Can we do a legal ID after this break?
located at 4702 Las Casas Pike, just minutes from Murfreesboro. Las Casas Drugs strives to provide all of your pharmaceutical needs in that hometown atmosphere you deserve. Family-owned and operated, Las Casas Drugs offers free delivery, immunizations, drive-through window, gift shop, merchandise, and medication management programs. Come by and see how we can make a difference. And go Blue Raiders!
Bring your game day style courtside with a stop at Lightning's locker room on the concourse. From bold new drops to timeless campus classics, we've got everything you need to turn heads from class to tip-off. Whether you're rocking a hoodie in the student section or sporting a tee around town, your look says it loud. You're here for the wins, the energy, and the tradition. So step up your style and your spirit, because at Lightning's locker room, the season never slows down, and every fan plays a part in the hype. Let's make every day feel like game day.
Rutherford County's MTSU station, News Radio WGNS.
Welcome back here to the FIU Baseball Stadium. We've reached the top half of the fourth inning between Middle Tennessee and FIU. Panthers on top 5-0 over the Blue Raiders after a 2-run bottom half of the third inning, but still a lot of baseball yet to be played, and we know that the MTSU bats are always capable of explosivity on a volcanic level. That's what they'll be looking to deliver in the top half of the fourth inning against Jordan Vargas. Trying to make sure they're not afraid to catch fields. Not sure if that's a reference that some of you will understand with the music playing in the background or not. That's one that I listened to a lot as a kid. Katy Perry and Pharrell's song. Owen Nowak will come to the plate for MTSU. 1, 2, 3 due up in the order for the Blue Raiders. MTSU yet to get a hit in this game against Vargas, who has just been sensational on the mound so far. 3 strikeouts on the Blue Raiders. And delivers a strike here on a fastball. The consistency has been so impressive from him today. Nowak ties his right shoe as the count goes to 0-1. Got to make sure you got the shoe on securely when you're trying to take off for bases. Here's a ground ball delivered to the right side, picked up by Fisher, and he will throw it to first for a 4-3. Sammy Fisher had a lot of issues fielding the baseball yesterday, but give credit where credit is due. The second baseman has been on point so far today against the Blue Raiders, and that's the second time he's done that to Owen Nowak. Cooper Clapp will come to the plate for MTSU. Also 0 for 1 so far today, as is the rest of the Blue Raider lineup. Struck out his first time up against Vargas. This pitch a little to the outside. Count goes to 1-0. Under a little bit of cloud cover now. Of course, it probably won't last long, but that'll provide a little bit of relief maybe for some of these players as the count goes to 2-0. And again, we expect the heat to really kick up as we get further along into this game and reach its peak right around that 3 o'clock end time. 2-0 pitch, and here's a high fly ball driven to right center field, and this one is out of here. Supa Koopa has done it again. His second straight game with a solo home run shot, and it puts MTSU on the board in the top half of the fourth inning. Give him the cape and let this man soar here in Miami. Cooper Clapp puts MTSU on the scoreboard for the first time, and that'll send on Tyler Minnick for the Blue Raiders. And maybe that will be the spark that MTSU needs to get things rolling here in Miami. Minnick will drive a ball foul toward the left part of the field. Count goes to 0-1. Sometimes you just need one hit like that to get the rest of the lineup, don't want to say believing, but encouraged, for lack of a better term. We'll see if that helps. Pitch low here by Vargas. And conversely, it can rattle a pitcher after you give up a home run like that. Sometimes you're, I don't want to say mindlessly pitching, but it's almost instinctual. And after something like that, you think about it more, and you get in your own head. As that's fouled off by Tyler Minnick, count goes to 1-2. That's sort of the mental battle of baseball that isn't really talked about as much, but it's interesting to watch when it plays out on the field. Right now, MTSU trying to stay one step ahead of Vargas. 1-2 pitch. And, just missed by Jordan Vargas. Count goes to 2-2. That was a bold take by Minnick, but he decided to lay off, and that was a wise decision. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out for the man behind the dish. Here's a drive into center field for a base hit. And Tyler Minnick gives MTSU back-to-back hits here in the top half of the 4th inning. All of a sudden, that confidence and that fire from MTSU is starting to awaken here on this Sunday afternoon. And if you want a guy who can change a game, look no further than the man headed to the plate, Nathan Brewer. Already 4 home runs this weekend, a couple of hits yesterday. Can he get a shot here for MTSU to give them their 3rd straight hit and potentially to score Tyler Minnick? Pitch by Vargas. Here's a ground ball fouled to the right of the first base bag. Count goes to 0-1. And it's like I said, the confidence maybe boosted a little bit for these guys after seeing what Klatt did, and I think you may have just saw that with Minnick's hit. Does it translate to Brewer? 0-1 pitch. Here's a chopper, just fouled to the right side. Counted 0-2. Just needed a little bit more to the inside to get that ball fair. And here we go. No balls, 2 strikes. Nathan Brewer back to wearing number 8 today. Is it his magic number in Miami on this Sunday afternoon? Oh, 0-2 offering from Vargas is upstairs for ball 1. Nathan Brewer flew a ball out to the shortstop, Mario Trivella, his first time up. 307 average on the season. Team leading 12 home runs. He also has 15 doubles and 55 hits. 1-2. And a swing and a miss for Brewer. Was trying to drive that thing over the wall, but instead catches nothing but oxygen. And Jordan Vargas gets a strikeout swinging for his 4th K of the game. That'll bring on Lane Akers, the designated hitter for Middle Tennessee. And Lane Akers struck out his first time up against Jordan Vargas. But Akers the Raker, as I've nicknamed him, is always ready to lend a helping hand. But Vargas, another fastball for a strike. Count goes to 0-1. Yesterday against FIU, Lane Akers with 1 hit and 1 run on the Panthers. Had that great series against Sam Houston to help Middle Tennessee get game number 2 down in Huntsville. Vargas taking his time on this one, 0-1, and it does not find the zone. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. There was about 5 seconds left on the pitch clock when Vargas got rid of it. Brett Rogers is on deck, but with 2 outs and a 1-1 count. Lane Akers has 7 homers on the season, 9 doubles, and 1 triple. 1-1, check swing. It's going to be a strike anyway. Count goes to 1-2. Some MTSU fans not agreeing with that call. It was very close, but the home plate umpire called it a strike. Count goes to 1-2. Let's see what Akers can do with this opportunity. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. 2 straight strikeouts to end the top half of the 4th inning for Jordan Vargas. He's now got 5 total in the game. But MTSU does get on the scoreboard. A solo home run shot from Cooper Clapp makes it a 5-1 contest as we move on to the bottom half of the 4th inning in Miami. Back in 1 minute on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Locally grown, Blue Raider proud. This is Jonathan Harmon with the J. Harmon Home Team. As an MTSU alumnus and lifelong Rutherford County resident, I bring the heart of a teacher, the grit of a Blue Raider, and over 15 years of real estate experience to every client. Honest to a fault, connected to the community, and driven to serve. I don't just help you buy or sell, I help you understand every step. The J. Harmon Home Team, where real estate meets real talk.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
The Blue Raiders play here. News Radio WGNS.
Back here in Miami, Florida. Dylan Simmons here for the bottom half of the 4th inning between Middle Tennessee and FIU. So far, it's been all Panthers, 5-1 against the Blue Raiders thus far. However, Cooper Clapp did deliver a solo home run shot in the top half of the 4th a moment ago. And for the first time today, the dominant righty pitcher Jordan Vargas showed some cracks against the Blue Raider batting lineup. We'll see if MTSU can use that to their advantage and if the defense can get a needed shutout frame here in the bottom half of the 4th. Cole Torbett still on the mound for MTSU. Had some struggles against FIU in the bottom half of the 3rd. Gave up a couple of runs. He will contend with numbers 9, 1, and 2 to start off this bottom half of the 4th. It will be Cole Cleveland, Sammy Fisher, and Mario Trivella. And those are 3 guys who can do exceptional damage in the right situation. Breaking ball by Torbett. Oh, a hit by pitch that caught Cleveland right where the last name on the jersey is. And that'll start us off on the wrong foot in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Runner aboard here for FIU. Cole Torbett delivered a hit by pitch earlier against Andrew Ildefonso. And just like that, a runner aboard for FIU. And it's been capitalizing on mistakes like that that has really helped FIU in this game so far. And it's just a matter of establishing better consistency if you're MTSU. Fisher at the plate now, 1 for 2 with a single already today. Torbett tries a pickoff back to first. Cole Cleveland has stolen 8 bases this season, so not a bad idea to take a look over there and see what you can do. FIU with 5 hits as a team thus far. Breaking ball by Torbett. Oh, goodness. Another hit by pitch, and it got Fisher in the pretty much exact same spot that it got Cleveland a second ago. Runners at first and second, and this is not an ideal start for MTSU in this bottom half of the 4th inning at all. Tyler Minnick will talk to Cole Torbett on the mound for just a second, but a couple of breaking balls have just gone awry for Cole Torbett thus far in this game. And certainly it's something that he's going to have to reel in if MTSU wants any opportunity to come back in this contest. No outs and 2 runners aboard for the Panthers. Mario Trivella, the most dangerous batter in the order, is at the plate. Already a 2-run homer and a double in this contest. Torbett, the southpaw on the mound, trying to find some answers. Goes for the fastball here and misses it low. Count goes to 1-0. FIU as a team entered the weekend number 12 in the conference in batting average, but you wouldn't know it with how these bats have performed all weekend long, and they have found ways to score and get hits time and time again, no matter what game it's been. 1-0 pitch delivered for a strike from Torbett. Count goes to 1-1. FIU 15 and 16 at home this season. looking for win number 16 right here. And a series win against Middle Tennessee. 1-1. Torbett just misses it. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. But still a lot of baseball yet to be played, and we know that MTSU is very much capable of a late rally on these Panthers. Torbett's 2-1 is driven right to Torbett. He makes the catch, barehanded, throws to second for 1 out, and almost a triple play for MTSU. Holy mackerel. What a job by Cole Torbett. One of the wildest catches I've seen all weekend. I don't know how he hung on to that thing. It looked like he caught it with his glove, then he lost his glove on the ground and ended up taking the ball with his bare hand, throwing on to second to get Cole Cleveland out, and Sammy Fisher had to quickly retreat back to first. That would have been an unbelievable triple play, but it's still a crazy double play for Cole Torbett, and that'll bring on Cooper Rasmussen for FIU, and all of a sudden 2 away. That is how you generate some confidence for this defense, and after a tough start in this bottom half of the fourth, Cole Torbett just showed maybe the most sensational defensive play he's made this season. Now trying to see if he can take care of Rasmussen. And a nice strike. Count goes to 0-1. We'll see if Cole Torbett has been awakened, but that breaking ball certainly had a lot of confidence behind it. And maybe he's feeling it just that little bit more. 0-1 pitch. Strike 2. Now Cole Torbett starting to find consistency. Targeted the top part of the zone and found it well. Can he get the strikeout here to bring us to the top of the 5th and, most importantly, keep this at a 5-1 game? Fisher at first, 0-2. Just missed outside. And the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Looked as though he was trying to get that outside corner. Couldn't quite get it where he needed to. 1-2 pitch, high breaking ball. Kind of lost grip of that one. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cole Torbett, already 1 win this weekend from the mound on Friday. Trying to get a potential second one here. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. High arcing breaking ball upstairs for ball 3. So a payoff pitch coming up at 3-2 on Cooper Rasmussen. Flew a ball out to center his last time up. He's also reached on a hit by pitch today. Here's the 3-2. High drive to right field, and it is going to be fouled just to the right of that right field foul pole. But that's a little too close to comfort for Blue Raider fans. However, everybody will stay in their proper places, and we'll try another payoff pitch. But that's one thing that I'm sure Cole Torbett does not want to see again. 3-2 coming up for the southpaw. Payoff pitch. And ball 4. A little high on Rasmussen that time. And now 2 runners aboard once again for FIU. That'll bring on Andrew Ildefonso, who has reached on a hit by pitch today, as well as a single in his first 2 appearances in the game. Sammy Fisher is at second. Cooper Rasmussen is at first for FIU. Can Cole Torbett negotiate, get that final out that MTSU needs in this bottom of the 4th? Here's a ground ball to third, and it goes off the glove of Brett Von Dolan. Rounding third is Sammy Fisher. The ball goes all the way to the left field corner. Fisher scores. Right behind him is Rasmussen. He'll score as well. At second is Ildefonso, and FIU extends the lead to 7-1. It went off the glove of Brett Von Dolan right near third base. As he tried to field that thing, it was going to be a close play no matter what, and he just couldn't get a handle on it. Jerry Myers talking about it with the home plate umpire. Wonder if he was curious as to whether or not that should have maybe been a foul ball. From our vantage point, at least from what I could tell, it looked like it was fair up until the point it hit Von Dolan's glove. So I would say that it's going to be hard to do anything about that. And it will be maintained for a 7-1 FIU lead. Andrew Ildefonso with a 2-run RBI double, and the Panthers with a 6-run lead. And again, FIU using the walks and hit by pitches to get guys on base to their advantage and extend this lead. And Jerry Myers has once again made his way out of the Blue Raider dugout. What's been a tough start to this game this afternoon. FIU has just found ways to score, but Middle Tennessee, when they've had chances to shut down innings, they just haven't taken them, and it's cost them a few times today. And that'll be the end of the afternoon for Cole Torbett. Not the outing he was looking for in his second appearance of the weekend. But we'll see a new pitcher on the mound soon for MTSU with the Blue Raiders down 7-1 in the bottom of the fourth. 2 outs. Panthers dominant. We'll be back in 1 minute on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Will Fraley, attorney at law, has experience you can count on. Former Blue Raider baseball player and MTSU alum Will Fraley serves Murfreesboro and the surrounding communities. Put a strong and experienced legal fighter on your case. Give Will Fraley a call and he can handle all of your legal matters, including criminal and domestic or family law. Visit willfraleylaw.com or call 615-410-7290.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
Bottom half of the fourth inning between FIU and Middle Tennessee. Panthers on top 7-1 over the Blue Raiders after a 2-run double a moment ago by Andrew Ildefonso. Cole Torbett's day comes to an end after an inning and 2/3 of work. Gave up 4 earned runs with 1 strikeout in his second appearance of the weekend. Did well against FIU earlier on Friday, but not the case today. Panthers in a really advantageous position, to say the least, in this middle portion of the game. But Middle Tennessee going to try to seize this run up a little bit with Bryant Baranek on the mound, facing off against Aiden Kohal. Baranek also making his second appearance of the weekend, and he had a very solid outing against FIU before. High fly ball deep to left field. Oh my goodness, it's gone again off the scoreboard. Aiden Kohal with his 3rd home run of the weekend, and it's a 2-run shot to put the Panthers on top 9-1. And the nightmare of this bottom half of the fourth continues. My goodness. 6th home run for Aiden Kohal, and again, his 3rd home run of the weekend. This time it is a 2-run homer, and the Panthers on top by 8 over Middle Tennessee as Enrique Alvarez Jr. will come to the plate. We saw Ildefonso's double a moment ago, and now the 2-run homer from Aiden Kohal. And here's a high drive deep to right center field. This will stay in the yard, and Nowak thankfully will make the catch right before the warning track for out number 3. A tough bottom half of the fourth for MTSU. 4 runs given up, including a 2-run homer from Aiden Kohal and a 2-run double from Andrew Ildefonso. Panthers lighting up MTSU defensively on top 9-1. Blue Raiders need a response in a hurry. Back for the top of the 5th in 1 minute on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
The Blue Raiders are winners in the classroom, on the field, and the courts. Richard Lewis here. I want you to win in real estate also. Buying, selling, auction here in Tennessee, or along the Gulf Coast, a second home, or investing. Give me a call to help start that winning process. 615-319-9981. Oh, I'm never too busy for your referrals. Richard Lewis, Exit Realty, Bob Lamb & Associates.
Las Casas Drugs is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, located at 4702 Las Casas Pike, just minutes from Murfreesboro. Las Casas Drugs strives to provide all of your pharmaceutical needs in that hometown atmosphere you deserve. Family-owned and operated, Las Casas Drugs offers free delivery, immunizations, drive-through window, gift shop, merchandise, and medication management programs. Come by and see how we can make a difference. And go Blue Raiders.
You're listening to MTSU Sports on WGNS.
Top half of the fifth inning between the Panthers and the Blue Raiders. This is the rubber match between Middle Tennessee and FIU. Panthers with a 9-1 lead after a 4-run bottom half of the fourth inning. Andrew Ildefonso with a 2-run double, and Aiden Cohal with a 2-run home run. Brian Moranik subbed in for Cole Torbett. Right now, Middle Tennessee just trying to find their way back into this contest, but in need of a lot of things to go their way. Biggest thing they need right now is some offense against Jordan Vargas, who's been nearly unstoppable so far against the Blue Raiders. He's given up just one run, a solo home run from Cooper Clapp, otherwise almost picture perfect. Has given up 2 hits total. Brett Rogers will lead off this frame, 6, 7, and 8 due up for MTSU, as this pitch goes by Rogers for a ball. Count at 1-0. And again, FIU's put up these 9 runs in just 4 innings total. This is fouled towards the FIU bullpen by Rogers. Count goes to 1-1. It's very reminiscent of the start that MTSU had against FIU on Friday with an 8-run top of the second that really ended up defining the game. Blue Raiders would take that game 11-9. As Rogers gets tagged with a hit-by pitch. Caught him in the back that time, and that'll send Rogers on to first base. So a runner aboard for MTSU. But I bring that up to mention that FIU was able to almost come back on MTSU on Friday, so who's to say that MTSU can't do something similar? And we know that FIU's bullpen has struggled. So unless Vargas can go the complete distance, which he's at 60 pitches right now, so still has some wiggle room, but if MTSU can start putting some pressure on him, it could get a little more interesting. Dean O'Neill at the plate. Fastball's inside here. Count goes to 1-0. Dean O'Neill, 0 for 1 so far today. Had a pop-up that was caught by Vargas earlier. Count at 1-0 with Rogers at first. This pitch inside from Vargas, who's, to be fair, so far had some issues finding the strike zone in this top half of the fifth inning. And it looks as though Rich Witten and the FIU coaching staff may have snuffed that out as well, as we're going to have a quick meeting on the mound. Of course, the Panthers, they desperately want to win this series. They have not won a CUSA series or a series in general since the Kennesaw State matchup back in March. So they want to make sure to preserve this at all cost. There is a pitcher warming up in the FIU bullpen, but I'd imagine that Vargas is going to remain on the mound, at least for the short-term future, and indeed he will. Dean O'Neill, again, 0 for 1 so far today. He's got Brett Von Dolan behind him, as well as Clay Badalak, with Rogers at first. MTSU able to spark a little bit of offense in the top of the fourth. Do they have something similar here in the top of the fifth? Count is going to be 2-0 as Vargas takes a moment. He's going to have to, well, now they reset the pitch clock. Delivers this pitch to the inside, and that'll bring the count to 3-0. So MTSU could very well put a couple runners on base if O'Neill can force a walk here. He's already done that this weekend. See if he can manage it on this 3-0 count. And he will. Pitch missed the zone, and Dean O'Neill makes his way over to first base. Rogers to second. 2 runners aboard for MTSU with no outs, as Brett Von Dolan will come to the plate. And this is getting a little more interesting in the top of the fifth here in the 3:05. Brett Von Dolan, in his first at-bat, struck out swinging earlier today. Clay Badalak is in behind him. Of course, Von Dolan Former record setter, had that tremendous game a couple years ago against Western Kentucky, which, it's been talked about to death, but still amazing the night he had that night. And you always consider that whenever he steps to the plate, that potential is still hidden inside there. 1-0 from Vargas. Von Dolan chased after it, swing and a miss. Count at 1-1. Vargas has 5 strikeouts in this game. Entered the weekend trying to increase that strikeout count. Hasn't been the most productive in terms of generating strikeouts this season, but today he's been all over it. Swing and a miss from Von Dolan. Count goes to 1-2. Vargas had 21 strikeouts to enter the weekend, and he is approaching or has surpassed his new season high for strikeouts in a game with his performance so far today. 1-2 pitch. Von Dolan swing and a miss. Chased after it 3 straight times, and he could not get a whiff of it. Second time he has struck out swinging to Vargas, and that is his 6th K of this game. Clay Badalak comes to the plate. 1 out on MTSU in this top of the 5th. Badalak, a junior out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Transferred from Frontier Community College a couple of years ago, and has emerged as a great shortstop option for MTSU over the last few years, as FIU is going to have another meeting on the mound, and it looks like Jordan Vargas' day is going to come to an end. So a very solid outing for Jordan Vargas. I'm sure he'll be very happy with that in what is going to be the final home game of the year for FIU. Vargas could potentially come back next year, but he's getting a nice round of applause from this audience, and for good reason, here on Senior Day. Well, we'll find out who the new pitcher is for FIU in just a moment. Panthers on top 9-1. MTSU couple runners aboard. Back in 1 minute on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Courtside with a stop at Lightning's locker room on the concourse. From bold new drops to timeless campus classics, we've got everything you need to turn heads from class to tip-off. Whether you're rocking a hoodie in the student section or sporting a tee around town, your look says it loud. You're here for the wins, the energy, and the tradition. So step up your style and your spirit, because at Lightning's locker room, the season never slows down, and every fan plays a part in the hype. Let's make every day feel like game day.
Hey Blue Raider fans, this is Brad Hopkins with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates. Winning in real estate is a lot like football. Good coaching and recruiting a great team are the keys. I put together a team of lenders, inspectors, and home professionals to help you succeed. Let me coach you through this process and make sure you come out a winner. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, I am here to help you win. Visit BradHopkinsHomes.com or call 615-556-9239 to find out more.
The Blue Raiders are on News Radio WGNS.
Back here in Miami, Florida, Dylan Simmons with you on this Sunday afternoon, Mother's Day afternoon. And again, happy Mother's Day to all of the great mothers out there in the Mid-State and across the world. Middle Tennessee down 9-1 to the FIU Panthers. And a new pitcher on the mound for the Panthers with a couple of Raiders aboard. It is Cooper Foster, the junior out of Gilbert, Arizona, transferred in from Chandler Gilbert Community College. Entered the weekend with an 8.06 ERA on the season. 27 strikeouts, 24 hits given up, and 22 1/3 total innings pitched. He had a season-high 4 innings pitched against Louisiana Tech on April 4th with 5 Ks. He has already appeared against MTSU once this weekend, as have a lot of the pitchers today. Foster pitched on Friday, had an inning pitched against MTSU with no earned runs given up and 2 strikeouts, but didn't pitch for long, and it was likely because FIU knew they were going to be saving him for this potential Sunday matchup, and here we are. And Middle Tennessee going to bring in a pinch hitter here, so Matt Wolf will come in for Clay Badalak in the 9-hole. First time we've seen him in this series, and Wolf trying to potentially ring in a couple of runners in Brett Rogers and Dean O'Neill. So we'll see what Wolf can do in this spot. Here's a ground ball delivered to the first baseman. Throw to second in time for 1. There will be no throw to first, so Wolf will be safe at first on a fielder's choice, and it does advance Brett Rogers on to third. 2 away here in the top half of the 5th inning. Not exactly how MTSU wanted it to go, but it's not the worst possible outcome. And it does take us back to the top of the order. So, runners at the corners here for MTSU, with Rogers over at third, Nowak at the plate. Two-way and MTSU trying to cut into this 8-run deficit they face against FIU. And time called right before the pitch. Count will be 1-0 here, as I think it was Foster who called time. Either that or it was Nowak. Couldn't tell exactly what the situation was, but time was called by somebody. Pitch clock. Okay, that's what it was. So the count automatically goes to 1-0 after that, as this is fouled off. Count at 1-1 strike. And again, that is a relatively new element of the game still, even in college baseball, although we see it a lot more than we used to. Nowak, ground ball to second, picked up by Fisher, who throws to second base to get Wolf out, and that will end the top half of the 5th inning. MTSU once again puts a couple runners on base, but can't capitalize on it, and the score remains 9-1 FIU. So we go back to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Panthers trying to maintain the lead. Back here in 1 minute on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
At State Farm, when home and auto work as a team, you score and save money. I'm State Farm agent Andy Wama. Give me a call at 615-890-0850, and let's work together to win big by saving money on home and auto. With the service you get from State Farm, you might think our car insurance costs more. I'm State Farm agent Andy Wama. Give me a call at 615-890-0850, and let me show you with discounts up to 40%. You may find it even costs less.
At Middle Tennessee Electric, we see the lines that link us all, illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Because we believe in the power of good energy. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart. And as your family and our region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
Rutherford County's MTSU station, News Radio WGNS.
Back here at the FIU Baseball Stadium, Dylan Simmons with you on this Sunday afternoon. Middle Tennessee down 9-1 to the FIU Panthers. By the way, Matt Wolf is going to take over at shortstop for MTSU, before I forget to mention that, since he came in as a pinch hitter for Clay Badalak in the top half of the 5th inning a few moments ago. So lineup change there for the Blue Raiders. Brian Baranek still on the mound for MTSU. Caden Samler will come to the plate. Right now MTSU trying to find any spark of momentum that they can against this Panther squad, who has been just on fire so far today on both sides of the ball. And before we get play started, they're going to get everybody set, as I don't think Brett Rogers and Owen Nowak had fully made it back to right and center field respectively, so they get them set. Caden Samler to the plate, and here's a high fly ball deep to left field, and it is out of here. 2 straight days with 2 straight home runs for Caden Samler, and FIU now on top by 9 runs over the Blue Raiders with a 10-1 advantage. This time it's a solo shot for Samler. 3rd home run of the season, and the catcher having himself a weekend against the Blue Raiders.
Fans, we will continue the Mother's Day celebrations with the next announcement.
That will bring up Hector Candelas for FIU, who struck out swinging in his last appearance in the 3rd and flew a ball out to right in the 2nd. 10-1 FIU lead as Bryant Baranek giving up another homer to this FIU squad. And again, give credit to these Panthers bats. They have just found a way to get consistent shots against this Blue Raider defense, as that is fouled off the bat of Candelas and lands in the stands. Count goes to 0-2. And right now, FIU running at full force with full momentum against these Blue Raiders here in Miami. This pitch goes upstairs for Baranek as the count goes to 1-2. FIU hitting 8 for 19 as a team with a .421 average. 1-2 pitch from Baranek and a swing and a miss here from Candelas. That will be strike 3. And Bryant Baranek gets the first out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. That will be Baranek's first K of the game. And it'll bring on Cole Cleveland, the center fielder. Cleveland 0 for 1 so far today in this game. .227 average on the season for Cleveland. Had a great performance last year against MTSU in game number 3 of that series with 2 hits, a home run, and 3 RBIs. Now trying to make some more magic happen in the bottom of the 5th. Count at 1-0. Tries to lay down a bunt. Foul towards the backstop. Count goes to 1-1 strike. Yesterday for FIU, Cole Cleveland had 1 run, no hits on the day. He did reach base on a hit by pitch one time. Facing a 1-1 count here on Baranek. And that pitch low from Bryant Baranek. Count goes to 2-1. On Friday for FIU, Cole Cleveland had 1 hit with 1 run and 1 RBI against the Blue Raiders. So somewhat productive weekend for him. Here's a chopper to the right side, fouled past Dean O'Neill. Count goes to 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes coming up for Cole Cleveland, trying to get FIU to a potential 10-run lead against the Blue Raiders here this afternoon. And he's going to drive one towards center field. It gets down in front of Nowak, and Cleveland has a 1-out single here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. 1 aboard for FIU, and that'll send on Sammy Fisher. Back to the top of the order we go for the Panthers. Fisher already with a hit today, got a single back in the 1st, strikeout in the 2nd, reached on a hit by pitch in the 4th. And now looking for even more offense for FIU in this bottom half of the 5th inning. Still just 1 out with Cole Cleveland ranging over at first. And he has stolen 8 bases this year, as we're going to see Tyler Minnick have a quick conversation with Bryant Baranek on the mound, trying to make sure that they've got everything squared away. Well, there's no hiding the fact it's been a tough game so far for MTSU. About everything that could go wrong has. It's just been bad bounces, a lot of home runs given up, and several other factors that have just made it a tough day here in Miami so far. But there's still the potential for 4 more innings of baseball today, and MTSU still has a chance to do some damage against this FIU squad, as Jerry Myers is going to make his way out of the dugout, and he's going to call for a new pitcher. So Baranek's day will come to an end on that. Second appearance of the weekend, not as good as the first appearance on Friday, unfortunately, here this afternoon. So that'll bring on the next pitcher for the Blue Raiders, their 4th pitcher of today's game. And we'll see if he can help shut down this FIU offense, which has been roaring here at home. Back in 1 minute on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Hey folks, it's Chip Walters from Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, helping Middle Tennessee make smart moves in a fast-moving market. Whether you're buying, selling, or just exploring your options, you deserve someone who knows this community and treats your goals like their own. From first-timers to long-time homeowners, I'm here to guide you with clarity, confidence, and a steady hand. When you're ready to...
The 5th inning between Middle Tennessee and Florida International, and the new pitcher on the mound for MTSU is Bryant Baranek's day comes to an end. Baranek will finish the day with 2/3 of an inning pitched, 2 earned runs given up, 1 strikeout, and 3 hits allowed to FIU. And for the second time this weekend, John Michael Pickens will make his way out of the bullpen for MTSU to see if he can help stall out the FIU momentum. He was credited with the save on Friday against the Panthers to help MTSU to that eventual 11-9 victory. And now on the mound here, looking to shut down any potential offense from FIU, which has just been on point all day long. Panthers offense has been the story of the weekend, really, and the story of the day for certain today. They already have 3 home runs scored in this game. They had 4 yesterday. Mario Trivella has a home run. Aiden Kohal had a home run, and as well a home run for Caden Samler on a solo shot that we saw here in this bottom half of the 5th inning. So FIU with the 10-1 lead as a result of those home runs, but also some other big swings in this contest. And now John Michael Pickens trying to show his best stuff against FIU once again. But unfortunately, so far today, when a pitcher makes his second appearance of the weekend, it, for the most part, has not ended well for MTSU. Pickens, the junior out of Hueytown, Alabama, will face off with Sammy Fisher in his first appearance of the game, as that is fouled off. Count goes to 0-1. Sammy Fisher with a single back in the first, struck out in the second, and reached on a hit-by pitch in the fourth. John Michael Pickens, talked to him on the plane ride over here. He had never been to Miami before, as that's going to be a ball softly hit over towards third. Von Dolan picks it up, throws on to first, and that will be a nice 5-3 to get out number 2 here in this bottom half of the 5th inning. And that's a pretty good out to get on Sammy Fisher, who's been very hard to handle so far today. Mario Trivella will come to the plate for FIU, a man who's had an exceptional day. 2 for 3 already with a home run. He's been maybe the toughest guy for MTSU to deal with so far. Runner at second is Cole Cleveland after that ground out. Advanced into scoring position. Pickens trying to deal with Trivella. And there's a strike by John Michael Pickens on a fastball. Count goes to 0-1. FIU with 9 total hits so far in this game. MTSU with 2, and that kind of also tells the story outside of just the general score. Here's a ball hit towards the right side. O'Neal is there, picks it up, throws it to John Michael Pickens, who tags the bag at first for the final out of the 5th inning. So John Michael Pickens does a pretty good job coming in out of the bullpen to shut down this potential FIU rally, but the Panthers do put another run on the scoreboard. A solo home run shot for Caden Samler, who's been a thorn in the side of the Blue Raiders this weekend. Back for the top of the 6th and the MTSU Bats here on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Las Casas Drugs is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, located at 4702 Las Casas Pike, just minutes from Murfreesboro. Las Casas Drugs strives to provide all of your pharmaceutical needs in that hometown atmosphere you deserve. Family-owned and operated, Las Casas Drugs offers free delivery, immunizations, drive-through window, gift shop, merchandise, and medication management programs. Come by and see how we can make a difference. And go Blue Raiders.
Bring your game day style courtside with a stop at Lightning's locker room on the concourse. From bold new drops to timeless campus classics, we've got everything you need to turn heads from class to tip-off. Whether you're rocking a hoodie in the student section or sporting a tee around town, your look says it loud. You're here for the wins, the energy, and the tradition. So step up your style and your spirit, because at Lightning's locker room, the season never slows down, and every fan plays a part in the hype. Let's make every day feel like game day.
WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
Back under the palm trees here in Miami, Florida at the FIU Baseball Stadium. Top half of the 6th inning here this afternoon in the rubber match between Middle Tennessee and FIU. And it has been all Panthers so far in South Florida. A 10-1 lead over Middle Tennessee as we approach the top half of the 6th inning. Cooper Foster still on the mound out of the bullpen for FIU. He will face off with Cooper Clapp, the number 2 man in the order, who's been the lone batter to generate offense today for MTSU. A solo home run shot earlier on Jordan Vargas is the lone run that MTSU has managed on these FIU Panthers. Let's see if Clapp has a chance to do that again here. This pitch by Cooper Foster may say otherwise as a strike is delivered. Count goes to 0-1. MTSU got another hit from Tyler Minnick right after the home run by Clapp. The 2 hits are the only hits that MTSU has managed all day today, as this pitch is missed by Cooper Foster. Count evens at 1-1. Pretty decent breeze flowing towards left field, it seems like. Might have helped some of these last few home runs for FIU. We've talked about that ocean breeze all weekend and how it's helped potentially some of these deeper shots as the count goes to 1-2. Fouled off by Clapp. Clapp struck out his first time up through the order. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Whoa! Cooper Foster just lost the handle on that fastball and went right up and over the head of his catcher, Caden Samler. Count goes to 2-2. That's one of the wildest wild pitches I've seen in a good bit. So 2 balls and 2 strikes, and we'll see if Foster can get it under control a little bit better than that. 2-2 pitch. He does this time, but just misses the zone. Count runs full at 3-2. Clapp, one of the 5 lefties in the order for MTSU in this game. Payoff pitch, and this ball popped up on the left side but fouled back. And it lands in the audience. Somebody's going to get a souvenir. And this is the final home game of the year for FIU. They will be in Las Cruces, New Mexico next weekend on basically the other side of the country for their final CUSA series. Payoff pitch. And that is just high for ball 4. So a good job by Cooper Clapp to stay patient. Forces a leadoff walk in the top half of the 6th inning. And will make his way over to first base with Tyler Minnick coming in right behind him. Minnick already with a single, which he got in his last at-bat. He's also grounded out to second today. Senior out of Smyrna, Georgia. Came to MTSU from Georgia Tech, and that's delivered for a strike. Of course, Georgia Tech, top 5 team in the D1 baseball rankings right now, looking to be a major contender for Omaha. Race for Omaha is going to be pretty interesting this year. 0-1 pitch, and here's a drive into right center field. An Omaha-worthy hit by Tyler Minnick puts 2 runners aboard for MTSU with a single. And that will bring on Nathan Brewer for the Blue Raiders. Number 4 man in the order, so pretty good start against Cooper Foster in this top of the 6th. But this is where the issues have come in. MTSU's been able to get guys on base, but they haven't been able to capitalize today in this game. Perhaps Nathan Brewer can change that right here. Doesn't have a hit yet, 0 for 2. Flew a ball out to the shortstop and struck out in the 4th. No outs here, swing and a miss. We know Brewer's going to be aggressive at the plate. That's no mystery to anybody. Cooper Foster knows that just as well, and he's probably going to try to use that to his advantage. The question is, can Brewer get underneath the baseball, because we know what he's aiming for here. 0-1, just misses on a breaking ball. Count goes to 1-1. Brewer's got a very keen eye for knowing when the right time is to swing with all your power. He's very good at locating the direction of pitches and what style he's going to be getting. 1-1. Low pitch here by Cooper Foster. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Blue Raiders, of course, trying to avenge the series loss to Western Kentucky back in Murfreesboro. Lost in disappointing fashion in Game 3 on Sunday of that series. Trying to get some retribution here this weekend, but having trouble today against FIU. 2-1. Here's a high chopper to second. Fisher is there, throws to second for 1 out, throw to first in time for the double play. It's going to be a 4-6-3 for FIU that takes out both Tyler Minnick and Nathan Brewer. Cooper Clapp advances to third, but 2 away now here in the top half of the 6th inning. And it's just been that sort of bad luck day for MTSU. Lane Akers will come to the plate for the Blue Raiders. 0 for 2 so far is the DH. 47 hits, 30 RBIs, 9 doubles, and 7 homers on the year. He has struck out twice both times swinging in this game, so he's been very aggressive. And you know that, much like Brewer, he's going to be targeting a home run here because really MTSU needs those to have any shot of coming back into this game. The long ball is your friend right now. It's really what won them the game on Friday thanks to Brewer. And that's what they need here in this situation as well. Cooper Foster threw an inning and a third so far. No strikeouts, one walk, but just one hit given up, which was the single to Tyler Minnick a few moments ago. And now seeing what he can do with the DH, Lane Akers, who's got a .389 on-base percentage so far this season. But before that, we'll get a meeting on the mound from FIU, and they'll decide what they want to do with Cooper Foster. There is a pitcher warming up in the bullpen for the Panthers, but I would guess that this will just be a let's get this under control, sort of conversation. Make sure that we don't give up any more runs to MTSU in this spot. The one thing you don't want to do if you're FIU in this situation is light a fire under the Blue Raiders. And I think that's what Rich Witten's trying to do, taking no chances, and he is going to take Cooper Foster out of the game. So pretty good outing from Foster. Not a long one, but through an inning and a third. No earned runs given up and just one hit. So new pitcher on deck for FIU. We'll find out who's going to take the bump in 1 minute's time. Blue Raiders trying to get some runs in the top half of the sixth right here on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Locally grown, Blue Raider proud. This is Jonathan Harmon with the J. Harmon Home Team. As an MTSU alumnus and lifelong Rutherford County resident, I bring the heart of a teacher, the grit of a Blue Raider, and over 15 years of real estate experience to every client. Honest to a fault, connected to the community, and driven to serve. I don't just help you buy or sell, I help you understand every step. The J. Harmon Home Team, where real estate meets real talk.
Nothing is
Can we do a legal ID after this break?
changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
You're listening to MTSU Sports on WGNS.
Back here at the FIU Baseball Stadium, third pitcher of the game in for FIU. It is Jeremy Urena, who comes in for Cooper Foster. Urena already with a bunch of experience this season, but this will be his first time taking on Middle Tennessee this weekend. Urena, a senior out of Johnston, Rhode Island, transferred in from Rhode Island, an 8.868 ERA. 0-3 record on the year, 28 innings pitched. This will be his 13th appearance, 25 strikeouts. He had a season-high 4 2/3 innings pitched against DBU back on April 26th, and 7 Ks against Holy Cross on February 22nd. And MTSU hoping that they'll be able to exploit something on Jeremy Urena to get some runs on the scoreboard, which they desperately need in this top half of the sixth inning with 2 outs. Lane Akers is going to be at the plate for MTSU. He's got Brett Rogers behind him and Dean O'Neill behind him. And there is a runner at third in Cooper Clapp for the Blue Raiders, who already has a solo home run shot today and delivered a single just a few moments ago. Got on base with a walk a few moments ago. It was Minnick who delivered the single to get himself on base. And now Cooper Clapp trying to be driven in home by Lane Akers, but having to contend with Jeremy Urena. 2 away here in this top of the sixth. Pitch to Akers by Urena, delivered for a strike. Counted 0-1. The bullpen for FIU has been pretty solid these last couple days, and they've been doing a great job of limiting these MTSU batters. It's really been the starting pitching that has been the biggest issue for FIU, but that was not a problem today, as Jordan Vargas was sensational to start the contest with 6 strikeouts. 0-2, swing and a miss for Akers. So Jeremy Urena comes right in and gets a strikeout on Lane Akers here in this top half of the sixth. And once again, MTSU, despite having a runner on third, comes up empty. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on WGNS.
The flagship station for Middle Tennessee sports, WGNS. Murfreesboro, Smyrna. The Blue Raiders play here.
Cooper Rasmussen will be up to bat when we come back against John Michael Pickens for MTSU here on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner. Back for the bottom of the 6th to Miami in 1 minute.
Will Fraley, attorney at law, has experience you can count on. Former Blue Raider baseball player and MTSU alum Will Fraley serves Murfreesboro and the surrounding communities. Put a strong and experienced legal fighter on your case. Give Will Fraley a call and he can handle all of your legal matters, including criminal and domestic or family law. Visit willfraleylaw.com or call 615-410-7290.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
The Blue Raiders are on News Radio WGNS.
Bottom half of the 6th inning here on the campus of Florida International University. Dylan Simmons with you in Miami. And Middle Tennessee facing a steep 10-1 deficit to the FIU Panthers. John Michael Pickens still on the mound, trying to limit the damage that the Panthers can do here. As the number 3 man in the order will lead off, Cooper Rasmussen. He'll be followed by Andrew Ildefonso and Aiden Cohol. Rasmussen does not have a hit today, but has reached twice on a hit by pitch and walk so far in this contest. 9 for 23 performance so far for FIU as a team hitting. But John Michael Pickens in the bottom of the 5th when he checked in showed some pretty good poise. Able to get a couple of quick outs and bring the 5th inning to a quick end, and he's hoping to do the same here. Strike delivered to Rasmussen. Pickens 0-1 will be fouled off on the left side as another airplane screeches across the sky. And it's amazing the frequency that happens. So many airplanes flying in and out of here. Of course, they do say Miami's one of the busiest cities in the U.S., and I can see why. 0-2 pitch coming up to Rasmussen. And John Michael Pickens called strike 3 on Cooper Rasmussen to open up the bottom half of the 6th inning. That will be JMP's 2nd strikeout of this game. And it will bring on Andrew Ildefonso. Ildefonso with an RBI double his last time up. He's also got a single in this game and a hit by pitch. Pretty solid outing so far against MTSU. But John Michael Pickens showing an abundance of confidence so far. Here's a ground ball foul to the left side. Count goes to 0-1. And as long as Pickens continues to pitch solidly, it gives MTSU just that slight glimmer of hope that they can cut into this FIU lead a little bit, at least give themselves a chance. 0-1 pitch coming up to Ildefonso. Pickens just a little bit outside on this offering. Count moves to 1-1. Blue Raiders trying to pick up their 12th Conference USA win of the season. First CUSA Road Series win. Had a chance against Sam Houston, but had a tough Sunday contest in Huntsville. This ball will be fouled back by Ildefonso. And I believe fouled out of the stadium as well. So the count will go to 1-2. MTSU trying to avoid a repeat of that Sunday afternoon in Texas, here today in Miami, but these FIU bats have had another thing for them so far. 1-2 pitch with 1 out. Pickens, fastball, just misses the corner. Count goes to 2-2. Targeted the outside corner against Ildefonso, but couldn't quite get the strikeout. And it sets up 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 away for John Michael Pickens. 2-2 pitch. And this one fouled directly into the backstop by Ildefonso. Keeps the count at 2-2. Middle Tennessee all-time against the Panthers. Entered the series 28-27 since 2002. 15-12 on the road. They're now 16-13 on the road. They could get their 17th road win against FIU if they can get it done today. It would also be their first series win against the Panthers since 2023. 2-2 pitch from Pickens. Just outside. Count goes to 3-2. Played FIU here a couple of years ago in 2024. Won the Friday game, but lost on Saturday and Sunday, trying to avoid that same result here in 2026. Payoff pitch with one out. Pickens, here's a ground ball to short, picked up by Matt Wolf, who throws on to first, and that will be a 6-3 for out number 2. Remember, Matt Wolf pinch hit for Clay Badalak earlier and is now in as the shortstop. So he helps get the 6-3, and that'll send on Aiden Cohall for FIU. Now, Cohall has been a big problem for MTSU so far. Solo home run shot already in this game. He had a home run yesterday against MTSU and a home run on Friday. So he has scored a home run in every game against the Blue Raiders. And trying to do it once again right here with 2 outs. Pitch delivered by Pickens. His fastball, though, continues to frustrate these FIU hitters. Gets a strike, and the count goes to 0-1. He has looked super sporty this weekend. Had a great outing on Friday. Helped lift MTSU to that win. Got a save for his troubles. A 1 pitch here. This will be fouled back. And he's doing some great work against the FIU lineup here in the bottom of the 6th. Chance to end the inning right here on this 0-2 count and get his second strikeout of the frame. Already got a strikeout looking on Cooper Rasmussen. Can he get one here on Cohall? 0-2 pitch is upstairs for ball number 1. Targeted that top part of the zone again, just couldn't get it down enough. And the Bronx, New York native, Aiden Cohall, trying to deliver a Derek Jeter-style towering slam. And here's a high drive into left center field that's going to get down in front of the wall, right into the gap for a base hit. Cohall rounding second, and he will deliver a 2-out double here in the bottom half of the 6th inning on John Michael Pickens. One of the first hits that Pickens has given up so far in his appearance, and that'll send on Enrique Alvarez Jr. Cohall's success against Middle Tennessee continues here on this Sunday afternoon. Alvarez Jr. hasn't been as successful, 0 for 2 so far today, but he does have an RBI, which he managed back in the first. Has also reached on a walk and popped a ball up to center field. Runner at second. High chopper right side. It goes right to Clapp, who throws to O'Neal for a 4-3 and out number 3. So 1 double from Aiden Cohall, but nothing more from FIU, and the score remains 10-1. Blue Raiders need some offense in the top of the 7th. We'll be back in 1 minute on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
The Blue Raiders are winners in the classroom, on the field, and the courts. Richard Lewis here. I want you to win in real estate also. Buying, selling, auction here in Tennessee, or along the Gulf Coast, a second home, or investing. Give me a call to help start that winning process. 615-319-9981. Oh, I'm never too busy for your referrals. Richard Lewis, Exit Realty, Bob Lamb & Associates.
Las Casas Drugs is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, located at 4702 Las Casas Pike, just minutes from Murfreesboro. Las Casas Drugs strives to provide all of your pharmaceutical needs in that hometown atmosphere you deserve. Family-owned and operated, Las Casas Drugs offers free delivery, immunizations, drive-through window, gift shop, merchandise, and medication management programs. Come by and see how we can make a difference. And go Blue Raiders.
Rutherford County's MTSU station, News Radio WGNS.
Welcome back to sunny Miami, Florida. Top half of the 7th inning is on deck between Middle Tennessee and FIU. Blue Raiders down 10-1 here at the FIU Baseball Stadium. Trying to overcome a 9-run deficit, but very limited time to do it against Jeremy Urena and the Panthers. Urena checked in the top half of the sixth and did some pretty solid damage against MTSU from the mound. Brett Rogers will come to the plate for the Blue Raiders as MTSU tries to get the offense kick-started, which has been no easy task so far today. And the bats have usually been pretty consistent for MTSU, but here today it is just not materialized yet. Rogers 0 for 1, lined the ball out to left field and reached on a hit by pitch in the second and fifth innings respectively. Urena, a low pitch, count goes to 1-0. It will be Rogers, Dean O'Neill, and Brett Von Dolan to lead off in this inning. Numbers 6, 7, and 8 for Middle Tennessee. Count at 1-0. That pitch low towards the knees of Rogers. Count now at 2-0 for Brett. Rogers, the redshirt sophomore out of Chattanooga, played at Silverdale Baptist Academy, and he's going to foul this one off as it rolls behind the batter's box. Count at 2-1. Rogers had 3 hits, 2 runs, and 1 RBI versus FIU in Murfreesboro in game number 1 last year. We would expect that in 2027 that these two teams will meet in Murfreesboro once again, if the pattern is to be followed. 2-1 pitch. Of course, we won't know that 2027 schedule for some time, I'd imagine. Usually announced towards the beginning part of the year. Count at 3-1. Right now, all MTSU's focused on is 2026 and trying to make the most of this final part of the season. 3-1, shot towards the right side, right to Fisher, who will throw on to Kohal for a 4-3 and out number 1 on Brett Rogers. Dean O'Neill will come to the plate. Reached on a walk his last time up. And Jeremy Urena continues the consistency for FIU pitchers today. For a team that was last, or 11th, I should say, in the conference in ERA entering the weekend, they sure have not played like it. The pitching, although it hasn't been the greatest, has done a much better job of just managing these MTSU batters and limiting their usual explosiveness. MTSU's lost in shootouts, but rarely do the bats get quieted as they have here on Sunday. Count at 1-0. The Raiders got 5 runs yesterday after a quick start. 1-0 pitch from Urena. Well inside, but in for a strike. That one really close to the inside corner, but got in the zone. Count goes to 1-1. Urena taking his time here. 1-1 pitch. O'Neill chased after it and missed. Count goes to 1-2. Dean O'Neill still looking for that first hit of the weekend. Didn't get any yesterday. Struggled on Friday, but we know he's got the capability to.
Bring your game day style courtside with a stop at Lightning's Locker Room on the concourse. From bold new drops to timeless campus classics, we've got everything you need to turn heads from class to tip-off. Whether you're rocking a hoodie in the student section or sporting a tee around town, your look says it loud. You're here for the wins, the energy, and the tradition. So step up your style and your spirit, because at Lightning's Locker Room, the season never slows down, and every fan plays a part in the hype. Let's make every day feel like game day.
Hey Blue Raider fans, this is Brad Hopkins with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates. Winning in real estate is a lot like football. Good coaching and recruiting a great team are the keys. I put together a team of lenders, inspectors, and home professionals to help you succeed. Let me coach you through this process and make sure you come out a winner. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, I am here to help you win. Visit BradHopkinsHomes.com or call 615-556-9239 to find out more.
At State Farm, when home and auto work as a team, you score and save money. I'm State Farm agent Andy Wama. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let's work together to win big by saving money on home and auto. With the service you get from State Farm, you might think our car insurance costs more. I'm State Farm agent Andy Wama. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let me show you with discounts up to 40%. You may find it even costs less.
At Middle Tennessee Electric, we see the lines that link us all, illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Because we believe in the power of good energy. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart. And as your family and our region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
Hey folks, it's Chip Walters from Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, helping Middle Tennessee make smart moves in a fast-moving market. Whether you're buying, selling, or just exploring your options, you deserve someone who knows this community and treats your goals like their own. From first-timers to long-time homeowners, I'm here to guide you with clarity, confidence, and a steady hand. When you're ready to make the next move, start with someone you trust. Visit choosechip.net and let's make your 2026 move the right move.
Las Casas Drugs is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, located at 4702 Las Casas Pike, just minutes from Murfreesboro. Las Casas Drugs strives to provide all of your pharmaceutical needs in that hometown atmosphere you deserve. Family-owned and operated, Las Casas Drugs offers free delivery, immunizations, drive-through window, gift shop, merchandise, and medication management programs. Come by and see how we can make a difference. And go Blue Raiders!
Bring your game day style courtside with a stop at Lightning's locker room on the concourse. From bold new drops to timeless campus classics, we've got everything you need to turn heads from class to tip-off. Whether you're rocking a hoodie in the student section or sporting a tee around town, your look says it loud. You're here for the wins, the energy, and the tradition. So step up your style and your spirit, because at Lightning's locker room, the season never slows down, and every fan plays a part in the hype. Let's make every day feel like game day.
Locally grown, Blue Raider proud. This is Jonathan Harmon with the J. Harmon Home Team. As an MTSU alumnus and lifelong Rutherford County resident, I bring the heart of a teacher, the grit of a Blue Raider, and over 15 years of real estate experience to every client. Honest to a fault, connected to the community, and driven to serve. I don't just help you buy or sell, I help you understand every step. The J. Harmon Home Team, where real estate meets real talk.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
Will Fraley, attorney at law, has experience you can count on. Former Blue Raider baseball player and MTSU alum Will Fraley serves Murfreesboro and the surrounding communities. Put a strong and experienced legal fighter on your case. Give Will Fraley a call and he can handle all of your legal matters, including criminal and domestic or family law. Visit willfraleylaw.com or call 615-410-7290.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
The Blue Raiders are winners in the classroom, on the field, and the courts. Richard Lewis here. I want you to win in real estate also. Buying, selling, auction here in Tennessee, or along the Gulf Coast, a second home, or investing. Give me a call to help start that winning process. 615-319-9981. Oh, I'm never too busy for your referrals. Richard Lewis, Exit Realty, Bob Lamb & Associates.
Las Casas Drugs is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, located at 4702 Las Casas Pike, just minutes from Murfreesboro. Las Casas Drugs strives to provide all of your pharmaceutical needs in that hometown atmosphere you deserve. Family-owned and operated, Las Casas Drugs offers free delivery, immunizations, drive-through window, gift shop, merchandise, and medication management programs. Come by and see how we can make a difference. And go Blue Raiders!
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles,
Here's Monty Bolaños.
The NBA playoffs continue with 2 Game 4s, and it all starts from Philly at 3:30 Eastern Time as the 76ers will try to keep their season alive against the Knicks, who are 1 win away from advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals. Then the Timberwolves will try to even the series at home against the Spurs with tip-off at 7:30 Eastern Time. In Major League Baseball, back-to-back home runs in the first inning for the Phillies. Kyle Schwarber with his 15th home run of the season, and then Bryce Harper. But Schwarber has homered again for a 16th home run, which leads Major League Baseball. Phillies are shutting out the Rockies 5-0, top of the 3rd inning. The A's lead the Orioles 1-0, top of the 3rd there. Top of the 7th inning in Miami, where the Nationals and the Marlins are tied at 2 apiece. The Blue Jays lead the Angels at home 1-0, top of the 3rd inning. And the Rays are blanking the Red Sox in Boston 3-0, top of the 3rd.
Bring your game day style courtside with a stop at Lightning's locker room on the concourse. From bold new drops to timeless campus classics, we've got everything you need to turn heads from class to tip-off. Whether you're rocking a hoodie in the student section or sporting a tee around town, your look says it loud. You're here for the wins, the energy, and the tradition. So step up your style and your spirit, because at Lightning's locker room, the season never slows down, and every fan plays a part in the hype. Let's make every day feel like game day.
Hey, Blue Raider fans, this is Brad Hopkins with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates. Winning in real estate is a lot like football. Good coaching and recruiting a great team are the keys. I put together a team of lenders, inspectors, and home professionals to help you succeed. Let me coach you through this process and make sure you come out a winner. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, I am here to help you win. Visit BradHopkinsHomes.com or call 615-556-9239 to find out more.
At State Farm, when home and auto work as a team, you score and save money. I'm State Farm agent Andy Wama. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let's work together to win big by saving money on home and auto. With the service you get from State Farm, you might think our car insurance costs more. I'm State Farm agent Andy Wama. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let me show you with discounts up to 40%. You may find it even costs less.
At Middle Tennessee Electric, we see the lines that link us all, illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Because we believe in the power of good energy. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart. And as your family and our region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
Hey folks, it's Chip Walters from Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, helping Middle Tennessee make smart moves in a fast-moving market. Whether you're buying, selling, or just exploring your options, you deserve someone who knows this community and treats your goals like their own. From first-timers to long-time homeowners, I'm here to guide you with clarity, confidence, and a steady hand. When you're ready to make the next move, start with someone you trust. Visit choosechip.net and let's make your 2026 move the right move.
Las Casas Drugs is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, located at 4702 Las Casas Pike, just minutes from Murfreesboro. Las Casas Drugs strives to provide all of your pharmaceutical needs in that hometown atmosphere you deserve. Family-owned and operated, Las Casas Drugs offers free delivery, immunizations, drive-through window, gift shop, merchandise, and medication management programs. Come by and see how we can make a difference. And go Blue Raiders!
Bring your game day style courtside with a stop at Lightning's locker room on the concourse. From bold new drops to timeless campus classics, we've got everything you need to turn heads from class to tip-off. Whether you're rocking a hoodie in the student section or sporting a tee around town, your look says it loud. You're here for the wins, the energy, and the tradition. So step up your style and your spirit, because at Lightning's locker room, the season never slows down, and every fan plays a part in the hype. Let's make every day feel like game day.
Locally grown, Blue Raider proud. This is Jonathan Harmon with the J. Harmon Home Team. As an MTSU alumnus and lifelong Rutherford County resident, I bring the heart of a teacher, the grit of a Blue Raider, and over 15 years of real estate experience to every client. Honest to a fault, connected to the community, and driven to serve. I don't just help you buy or sell, I help you understand every step. The J. Harmon Home Team, where real estate meets real talk.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
The Blue Raiders play here. News Radio WGNS.
All right, folks, we're back here on the air on WGNS with Blue Raider Baseball. Apologies for the delay. We had an issue with the Comrex as Dean O'Neill drops a pop fly that will allow the runner to be safe at first base and Sammy Fisher. But we're back here on the air on WGNS. We're going to try to make this work through my cell phone, so hopefully we can make it through without any huge technical issues from here on out. But we are in the bottom half of the seventh inning with FIU on top 10-1, trying to potentially take over this game.
Number 26, Mario Trivela.
Mario Trivela will come to first base after that misplay by Dean O'Neill. Sammy Fisher trying to be sent home, and if he's able to do so, that would, unfortunately for MTSU, prematurely end the game via the run rule. Hopefully the PA in the background won't conflict too much with my voice. I'm trying to make it as clear as we can. It is John Michael Pickens who is on the mound for MTSU. Jerry Myers coming out of the dugout to talk to him here in this bottom half of the seventh inning. And he will make his way out of the dugout, or excuse me, back to the dugout after a pretty solid performance here today against the Panthers. We're going to take a quick 1-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll find the new pitcher for MTSU here on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Will Fraley, attorney at law, has experience you can count on. Former Blue Raider baseball player and MTSU alum Will Fraley serves Murfreesboro and the surrounding communities. Put a strong and experienced legal fighter on your case. Give Will Fraley a call and he can handle all of your legal matters, including criminal and domestic or family law. Visit willfraleylaw.com or call 615-410-7290.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
Welcome back here on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner. Mason Dobbs takes the mound for MTSU here in the bottom half of the seventh inning. I believe we may have identified the problem with the Comrex a few moments ago. I think a power cord actually came loose, and that may have been the issue. So we're going to see in just a bit if we can get the Comrex broadcast back up for all of you and maybe get this sounding a little bit better so we can avoid the call-in. But until then, we're going to keep it here on the phone. I'm going to have our producer take over for a little bit once we end the bottom half of the seventh inning. And once that takes place, we'll try to get the full broadcast back up and running. But until then, we've got Mason Dobbs on the mound for MTSU here in this bottom half of the seventh inning with 2 outs, trying to make sure that FIU does not end this game early and that MTSU might possibly be able to at least have a chance in the top half of the 8th inning. Mason Dobbs will face off with Mario Trivela, who already has a 2-run homer today, along with a double back in the 3rd. He has lined the ball out in the 4th and also had a ground ball to first base in the 5th. Trivela has been a superstar today for the Panthers, and the man from Caracas, Venezuela, is going to try to take it to Mason Dobbs here in this bottom half of the 7th to end the game early for the Panthers and give them the series. Dobbs, the junior out of Barrington, New Jersey, transfer from Rowan College, takes the mound. There's a runner at 1st and 3rd for FIU. MTSU trying to avoid giving up that 11th run, and that pitch was high, almost potentially scored Cole Cleveland, who's currently at third base, representing what would be the winning run for FIU here. Dobbs has to be careful to avoid any wild pitches that would potentially bring in that winning run. 1-0 pitch coming up. Breaking ball just misses for Dobbs. Count goes to 2-0. Again, 2 outs in this bottom of the 7th, so MTSU needs just one more to keep this thing rolling into the top of the 8th and get the bats back out there with a chance to capitalize. Count at 2-0. This is fouled to the left side of the field by Trivella. Count moves to 2-1. Again, apologize for the technical issues. Wish I had saw that earlier. Didn't realize that a power cord had come loose, but these things happen from time to time, and all part of the game. Count at 2-1. Pitch on the way from Dobbs, and a ball chopped foul towards the FIU dugout. Count goes to 2-2. On the bright side, it's a new experience for me, calling a game from the cell phone. So you know we're learning new stuff here. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Dobbs trying to deliver an inning-ending strikeout. He's got 13 Ks on the year so far. And he gets the job done against Trivella. 2-2 count. That pitch upstairs for ball 3. And here's the situation for Dobbs. If he is to walk Mario Trivella here, he would load the bases for FIU and give them an opportunity to make it even easier to bring in that winning run. But all that really matters for them right now is bringing in Cleveland, so it wouldn't change a whole lot necessarily. Payoff pitch with 2 outs. And that's low and in the dirt. Check swing, and it's going to be called for a strikeout. Nice job by Mason Dobbs to get that strikeout. It was a low pitch, but Trivella still swung at it, and it works out for MTSU. So on to the top of the 8th we go. We'll be back on the Comrex here in just a moment. I'm going to go get it for all of you folks, and we'll be back soon here on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
The Blue Raiders are winners in the classroom, on the field, and the courts. Richard Lewis here. I want you to win in real estate also. Buying, selling, auction here in Tennessee, or along the Gulf Coast, a second home, or investing. Give me a call to help start that winning process. 615-319-9981. Oh, I'm never too busy for your referrals. Richard Lewis, Exit Realty, Bob Lamb & Associates.
Las Casas Drugs is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, located at 4702 Las Casas Pike, just minutes from Murfreesboro. Las Casas Drugs strives to provide all of your pharmaceutical needs in that hometown atmosphere you deserve. Family-owned and operated, Las Casas Drugs offers free delivery, immunizations, drive-through window, gift shop, merchandise, and medication management programs. Come by and see how we can make a difference. And go Blue Raiders!
Bring your game day style courtside with a stop at Lightning's locker room on the concourse. From bold new drops to timeless campus classics, we've got everything you need to turn heads from class to tip-off. Whether you're rocking a hoodie in the student section or sporting a tee around town, your look says it loud. You're here for the wins, the energy, and the tradition. So step up your style and your spirit, because at Lightning's locker room, the season never slows down, and every fan plays a part in the hype. Let's make every day feel like game day.
Hey Blue Raider fans, this is Brad Hopkins with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates. Winning in real estate is a lot like football. Good coaching and recruiting a great team are the keys. I put together a team of lenders, inspectors, and home professionals to help you succeed. Let me coach you through this process and make sure you come out a winner. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, I am here to help you win. Visit BradHopkinsHomes.com or call 615-556-9239 to find out more.
You're listening to MTSU Sports on WGNS.
All right, back on the Comrex here on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner. I'm telling you, folks, this day has taken a lot of twists and turns. But we're here for the top half of the 8th inning between Middle Tennessee and FIU. Matt Wolf at the plate for the Blue Raiders, the number 9 man in the lineup. He'll be followed by Owen Nowak and Cooper Clapp, 9-1 and 2 due up. Appreciate my producer for standing by through all this mayhem, and hopefully we can finish things out cleanly for you. Swing and a miss here from Wolf. Count goes to 1-2. Initially thought that the Comrex had just overheated, but like I said, it was a loose power cord that was the problem. But got it fixed, so all's well that ends well. MTSU trying to get a happy ending here too, but got a long way to go against FIU. 1-2 pitch from Jeremy Urena, and it's going to be a strikeout on Matt Wolf. And I'll tell you this, he's done a really solid job of limiting these MTSU batters all the way through this game in his limited appearance so far, and he gets another strikeout here. So that'll send the next man up for the Blue Raiders. It is Owen Nowak in the top half of the 8th inning. The number 1 man in the order for the Blue Raiders. 0 for 3 so far in this contest. He has grounded out twice. Reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. Softly hit to short. Picked up by Trivella. Throws on to first, and the ball goes off the glove of the first baseman Kohal. So making it to first base is Owen Nowak. That is a runner aboard for MTSU. Bit of an unorthodox way to get it, but MTSU will not complain. And that was a tough play for Trivella to make. Had to come over from the shortstop spot and try to just heat that thing to first off balance. And there was just no way it was going to happen cleanly. So 1 out, but a runner aboard for MTSU. Nowak will be awarded with a single for it. So Cooper Clapp will come to the plate for the Blue Raiders. Clapp so far with a solo home run shot in the 4th, reached on a walk in the 6th. Watches a strike come by from Urena. Oh, 1 count. Here's a ground ball to first, picked up and thrown to second, chance for a double play, and FIU does exactly that. It was a ground ball over to the first baseman, Kohal, quickly got it over to second and took out both Nowak and Cooper Clapp. Again, a bad luck double play for MTSU, puts a premature end to a frame. Top of the 8th over, FIU still on top, 10-1. We'll be back for the bottom half of the 8th inning in 1 minute on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
At State Farm, when home and auto work as a team, you score and save money. I'm State Farm agent Andy Wama. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let's work together to win big by saving money on home and auto. With the service you get from State Farm, you might think our car insurance costs more. I'm State Farm agent Andy Wama. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let me show you with discounts up to 40%. You may find it even costs less.
At Middle Tennessee Electric, we see the lines that link us all, illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Because we believe in the power of good energy. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart. And as your family and our region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
The Blue Raiders are on News Radio WGNS.
Welcome back here to Blue Raider Baseball on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner as we've reached the bottom half of the 8th inning in this 10-1 game. Panthers on top of the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. Mason Dobbs still on the mound for MTSU, trying to limit the damage that FIU can inflict in this frame. Cooper Rasmussen will lead off. 3, 4, and 5 due up for FIU. These Panthers bats have been solid, but they haven't scored in the last couple of frames. That's mostly due to some pretty solid MTSU pitching all around from John Michael Pickens and Mason Dobbs. And they're going to try to keep that going with Dobbs on the mound here in the bottom of the 8th. And a reminder, if FIU does score a run in this bottom half of the 8th inning, then the game comes to an end via the run rule. So MTSU trying to make sure that does not take place. They can give themselves a chance in the top of the 9th. Breaking ball delivered by Dobbs. Misses the inside corner of the plate. Count goes to 1-0. Cooper Rasmussen has had an interesting stat line today. Reached on a hit by pitch, flew a ball out to center in the 3rd. Reached on a walk in the 4th and struck out in the 6th. Upstairs here by Dobbs on a fastball. Count moves to 2-0. Mason Dobbs with a 2-2 record on the year. 12 earned runs given up, 23 total hits. and has allowed 3 total homers. 2-0 misses outside, and the count goes to 3-0. Rasmussen, representing the winning run, has a chance to get on base here if Dobbs cannot deliver on this 3-0 pitch. Dobbs, fastball too high, ball 4. And that will send Cooper Rasmussen on his way to first base. Once again, FIU able to get an early base runner in an inning, and that will send on Andrew Ildefonso. 2 for 3 so far in this game with a single and a 2-run RBI double in the 4th. It was that double in the 4th that really started to open up the scoring for the Panthers in the middle part of the game. That was followed up shortly after by a home run from Aiden Cohall, 2-run homer that would give the Panthers at the time a 9-1 lead, and they have not looked back since. Dobbs delivers a strike, count goes to 0-1. Here's a breaking ball fouled to the left side. Count goes to 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes for Andrew Ildefonso. Grounded out to shortstop his last time up in the 6th inning, but has still had a tremendous day on Senior Day for the Panthers. 0-2, and chopped foul towards the left side once again. Count will move to 0-2 for the local man out of Miami, redshirt sophomore. Entered the weekend with a .267 average, 39 RBIs, 5 homers, 51 hits, and 11 total doubles. CUSA preseason all-conference member. Trying to deliver on an 0-2. Ground ball and foul to the left side once again. It's been almost the same play back to back to back. MTSU is all right with a few foul balls, but they'll want to get an out here at some point soon on Ildefonso. He's got Aiden Cohall behind him and Enrique Alvarez Jr., 2 guys who can also have a major impact. No outs, 0-2, placed outside by Dobbs. Looked for the outside corner, couldn't quite grab it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. FIU hitting at a 10 for 31 clip today. .323 is the team batting average. They are 5 for 17 with runners on, as this pitch is going to go wide of Tyler Minnick, and that will allow the runner to advance to second. So Rasmussen now in scoring position, and the count at 2-2. Just lost the handle a little bit that time, and now Dobbs will have to try to rebound, still searching for that first out, but Rasmussen in scoring position representing the winning run has an opportunity to be brought home if Andrew Ildefonso has anything to say about it here. Somewhat of a maybe final stand for Dobbs. What can he do with it? Two-two pitch. Tries a fastball, and it's a swing and a miss for Ildefonso. And a good strikeout for Mason Dobbs here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. 1 down for the Panthers. That'll send on Aiden Cohall, 2 for 4 so far on the day. And of course, Cohall has gotten a home run in every single game this weekend. Friday, Saturday, and got one on Sunday, a 2-run homer. Like I said, in the bottom half of the 4th inning, Jerry Myers will make his way out of the Blue Raider dugout, and he's going to make at least one more call to the bullpen today. So Mason Dobbs' day will come to an end after 2/3 of an inning of work, 2 strikeouts, no runs given up. Not too bad, all things considered. So one more pitcher coming up for MTSU. Blue Raiders down 10-1 to the Panthers. Back in 1 minute on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Hey folks, it's Chip Walters from Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, helping Middle Tennessee make smart moves in a fast-moving market. Whether you're buying, selling, or just exploring your options, you deserve someone who knows this community and treats your goals like their own. From first-timers to long-time homeowners, I'm here to guide you with clarity, confidence, and a steady hand. When you're ready to make the next move, start with someone you trust. Visit choosechip.net and let's make your 2026 move the right move.
Rutherford County's MTSU station, News Radio WGNS.
Back here at the FIU Baseball Stadium, Dylan Simmons with you on the call here on the Blue Raider Network and WGNS. Your score, FIU 10, Middle Tennessee 1 in today's rubber match. Game number 3 of the series in Miami has been all Panthers so far, but one man who's going to try to keep it going for MTSU and give them a shot in a potential top of the ninth is Colin Kerrigan. He's going to be brought in with a runner at second and one out here in the bottom half of the 8th inning, as Jerry Myers tries to see if Kerrigan can get us through to the other side. He'll be dealing with Aiden Cohall as the leadoff batter that he'll face, followed by Enrique Alvarez Jr. and Caden Samler, numbers 5, 6, and 7 for FIU. So we'll see how Colin Kerrigan deals with this pressure. Just invented a new word there. Sometimes that happens if you're a broadcaster trying to speak quickly. But Kerrigan has already come in once this weekend and had a very good outing against FIU his last time out. Came in briefly in game number 1, and against the Panthers in that contest, Kerrigan, or excuse me, it was yesterday that he played FIU, not Friday, my mistake. But against the Panthers in that contest, Kerrigan had 2/3 of an inning pitched and gave up no earned runs, no runs at all actually, with 1 strikeout. So getting his chance here in the bottom of the 8th against FIU to see if he can keep this score at 10-1 and move us on to the 9th inning. It will be Aiden Cohall who will come to the plate. And again, he has been the biggest thorn in the side of MTSU this weekend. 3 home runs against the Blue Raiders, 2-run homer earlier today, and a double in the 6th. 1 out, Rasmussen at second, representing the winning run. Kerrigan's first pitch, nice fastball for a strike. Count goes to 0-1. Trying to follow up on his successful 2/3 yesterday against FIU. Let's see what he can do with this 0-1 pitch. Taking his time and takes a look back to second. Trying to keep Rasmussen honest. Quiet down, Siri. We don't need your opinion on this. Count at 0-1. All kinds of weird stuff going on today. It's that kind of Sunday afternoon, I guess. 0-1 pitch. Forgot to put my phone on silent mode. 1-1. Aiden Cohall did strike out back in the first inning, reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd, got an RBI off of that as well. So 3 total runs batted in today. Kerrigan, nice fastball for strike 2. Count goes to 1-2. Kerrigan emerging as a reliable bullpen piece for MTSU this year, and is trying to make his mark in the final true road series of the season. 1-2 pitch. This ball softly hit towards second, picked up by Clapp. Underhand toss to first, gets it to O'Neill for out number 2. That advances the winning run to 3rd. Rasmussen in the hot corner, but the only man on base. So Cohall is retired on the 4-3. And on comes Enrique Alvarez Jr., the number 6 man in the order. Hasn't had a great day so far, 0 for 3 on the Blue Raiders, despite all the success that the other FIU batters have had. Alvarez Jr. hasn't quite managed that same success, but we're not going to see Enrique Alvarez Jr. They're going to send in a pinch hitter instead. And for the first time in this game, and for the first time in this series, as a matter of fact, we're going to see that pinch hitter, Kyle Kaler, not the first time this series, but Jerry Myers is going to make his way out of the dugout. Didn't recognize Kaler's number at first. And let's see what he wants to do. Well, he's going to bring Kerrigan back to the dugout. So Kerrigan's day will end after a 1/3 of an inning pitched, and that will bring on a new man out of the bullpen for MTSU, but able to get a solid out on the Panthers, and one more pitcher up for MTSU here in the bottom of the 8th. Back in 1 minute right here on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner. Panthers up 10-1.
Las Casas Drugs is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, located at 4702 Las Casas Pike, just minutes from Murfreesboro. Las Casas Drugs strives to provide all of your pharmaceutical needs in that hometown atmosphere you deserve. Family-owned and operated, Las Casas Drugs offers free delivery, immunizations, drive-through window, gift shop, merchandise, and medication management programs. Come by and see how we can make a difference. And go Blue Raiders!
Bring your game day style courtside with a stop at Lightning's locker room on the concourse. From bold new drops to timeless campus classics, we've got everything you need to turn heads from class to tip-off. Whether you're rocking a hoodie in the student section or sporting a tee around town, your look says it loud. You're here for the wins, the energy, and the tradition. So step up your style and your spirit, because at Lightning's locker room, the season never slows down, and every fan plays a part in the hype. Let's make every day feel like game day.
The Blue Raiders play here. News Radio WGNS.
Welcome back here to Miami, Florida. Colin Kerrigan's day comes to an end after a third of an inning pitched, but able to get an out on the Panthers on a 4-3. And we're going to see for the first time in this series, Cole Cates, junior pitcher out of Bradford, Tennessee, transfer from Dyersburg State, take the mound against FIU. He has 4 innings pitched on the year with 2 earned runs given up and a total of 5 strikeouts on the season. This will be his 8th appearance of the season, as he's made 7 prior. His last one was against Western Kentucky back on May the 2nd, where he had 2/3 of an inning in the second game of that series. Kyle Kaler is coming in as a pinch hitter here for Enrique Alvarez Jr. Misidentified him as a new player earlier, so wanted to avoid that confusion. Kaler to the plate, taking over Alvarez Jr.'s DH spot. The winning run for FIU is currently at third base, represented by Cooper Rasmussen. 2 outs here in this bottom half of the 8th inning. MTSU trying to avoid a run rule loss and give themselves a shot in the top half of the 9th inning in Miami as Cates delivers a strike. Count goes to 0-1. Cates has a pretty solid fastball in his repertoire, as well as a good breaking ball, and gets strike 2. A couple of good pitches from Cole Cates. Dyersburg State transfer doing some good stuff so far. And trying to get an inning-ending K right here on Kyle Kaler. 0-2 pitch. Lit up into right field. High fly ball camping underneath it is Rogers, and he makes the catch for out number 3. So that will bring us on to the top half of the 9th inning. Your score remains FIU 10, Middle Tennessee 1. Blue Raiders not done yet in Miami. We'll be back in 1 minute on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner. Don't touch that dial.
Locally grown, Blue Raider proud. This is Jonathan Harmon with the J. Harmon Home Team. As an MTSU alumnus and lifelong Rutherford County resident, I bring the heart of a teacher, the grit of a Blue Raider, and over 15 years of real estate experience to every client. Honest to a fault, connected to the community, and driven to serve. I don't just help you buy or sell, I help you understand every step. The J. Harmon Home Team, where real estate meets real talk.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
Back here on WGNS and the Blue Raider Network to the FIU Baseball Stadium, and we have reached the top half of the 9th inning between Middle Tennessee and FIU in today's rubber match. 10-1 is your score. FIU on top. Jeremy Urena, through 2 1/3 innings, has been doing some really good work against MTSU with 4 strikeouts. Panthers jumped out to a huge lead early in this game, and they have not looked back since, but give credit to MTSU. They have hung in throughout this contest and have at least given themselves a shot in this top of the 9th to add some runs on FIU and maybe make the score a little bit closer than it has been for the majority of this contest. Tyler Minnick comes to the plate. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 due up in the order against Urena in the top of the 9th. But it'll take an effort of efforts for MTSU to come back in this one. We'll see what the Bats can do if they get going early here. Count at 1-0. High fastball from Urena. Count goes to 2-0 for the righty pitcher. Tyler Minnick, a couple of singles in a row today, back in the 4th and 6th. He's had a pretty successful day, all things considered. Trying to get on top of this 2-0 count. And he delivers a high fly ball deep to left field, ranging back near the wall, and leaping up to try to make the catch and not being able to is Andrew Ildefonso. That'll be a solo home run for Tyler Minnick. It went right over the glove of Ildefonso, and Middle Tennessee makes it a 10-2 ball game as Tyler Minnick delivers a brilliant shot. Because it was going to take a second for everyone to see if Ildefonso had the ball in his hand, and it's tough to see with how far the outfield is away from our vantage point, but he was unable to, and Middle Tennessee adds the homer. So Nathan Brewer comes to the plate. So far, Brewer has struck out swinging in today's game. Also grounded out to a double play his last time up. Flew a ball out to the shortstop. Count is at 1-0. He will foul this one back. Count goes to 1-1. Delivered it towards the left side of the field. Brewer 0 for 3 so far in today's contest. Has struck out, like I mentioned, one time in the game. 55 hits on the year with 43 RBIs. Swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-2 as he dug after that one. We know that he's going to be aggressive in this late juncture against the Panthers. Trying to possibly use that aggressiveness to his advantage. 1-2, fouled off of Nathan Brewer himself. He's a little wobbly coming out of the batter's box, but looks to be just a bit of a stinger. No other issues prevalent. And count at 1-2 with no outs. Blue Raiders trying to add a little bit more to the scoreboard. Already have with a solo home run from Minnick. He and Cooper Clapp have the 2 runs scored for MTSU today, both solo home run shots. Otherwise, it's been a tough outing for Middle Tennessee offensively. Brewer had the 4 home runs on Friday, a couple singles yesterday. Looking for his first hit of the game today. 1-2. And a swing and a miss for Nathan Brewer. Struck out swinging by Jeremy Urena. That will be his 3rd K of the game. And we'll bring on Lane Akers, the designated hitter for Middle Tennessee. Akers also 0 for 3 thus far in the contest. Hasn't had the most explosive weekend compared to what he's done in the past, but still a guy who can give you some reliable at-bats. And he's nowhere to be seen right now. Not sure where Akers is at the moment. Home plate umpire's having a conversation with the catcher, Caden Samler. Oh, there's the batter. It's going to be a pinch hitter. It's not Lane Akers, so that was what the delay was about. It's going to be Calvin Cook, number 41, who comes in for Akers. Getting a little bit of experience late for MTSU. Haven't seen Cook much this year, but getting a chance here. So Cook going to be brought on with 1 out against Jeremy Urena. No one on base. Lefty batter for MTSU. Low pitch comes in for a ball. Count goes to 1-0. And you do like to see players getting an opportunity this late juncture of the game to give MTSU a chance to try out some guys of the future. 1-0. Here's a fly ball out to left field. Camping underneath it is the shortstop, and the catch is made by Trevella over his shoulder. What a great job by Mario Trevella. Had to chase that one down on the run, but made a nice catch. 2 away here in the top half of the 9th inning. So Calvin Cook will be retired on that. And that'll send on the right fielder, Brett Rogers, with 2 away in the top of the 9th. And if an out is delivered by FIU here, that would end this baseball game. Panthers trying to secure the series win. Can do so with that final out as Urena delivers a strike. Count goes to 0-1. Brett Rogers, so far for MTSU today, is 0 for 2 overall. Did reach on a hit by a pitch back in the 5th. 0-1 is low and in the dirt. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike for Jeremy Urena. It's been a special senior day so far for FIU, and they've played with a fire and passion that's been prevalent on the baseball field so far. 1-1, Rogers ground ball through the left side for a base hit, right in between the 5-6 hole, and Brett Rogers will get a 2-out single here in the top of the 9th to put another runner aboard for MTSU. So Dean O'Neill will come to the plate for Middle Tennessee. Struck out swinging his last time up, reached on a walk in the 5th, popped the ball up to the pitcher in the 4th. Pitch on the way from Urena as he misses this one north of the zone. Count goes to 1-0. Urena's done a solid job through 3 innings, trying to make it a full 3 1/3 to end out this contest, but MTSU not wanting to go home yet. High breaking ball for a strike. Count goes to 1-1. Good adjustment by Urena. Rhett Von Dolan is on deck for MTSU if O'Neill is able to get on base. 1 ball, 1 strike from Urena. O'Neill, high fly ball to left center field, chasing after it and making the catch at the track is Cole Cleveland. And that will do it for this series in Miami. FIU dominant. Got off to a drag race start early on against Middle Tennessee and never looked back on this Sunday afternoon. They pick up the 10-2 victory over Middle Tennessee behind a dynamic offense, a team that was eager to win on senior day, and they hand Middle Tennessee a CUSA Road Series loss in Miami in the final road series of the season for the Blue Raiders. Disappointing result after a turbocharged weekend for MTSU to start off on Friday. Not the ending that the Blue Raiders wanted, but there is still a lot to fight for in this season, and although the end result today isn't what anyone was hoping for, this season is far from over for the Blue Raiders as they fall today 2-1 in this series to FIU and by a score of 10-2 in the rubber match in Game 3. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we will wrap things up from Miami, Florida with our Blue Raider postgame show. We'll talk about our final postgame stats between FIU and Middle Tennessee and get you set for the Blue Raiders' next matchup coming up on Tuesday against the Memphis Tigers in Murfreesboro. Back in 2 minutes for the Blue Raider postgame show on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Will Fraley, attorney at law, has experience you can count on. Former Blue Raider baseball player and MTSU alum Will Fraley serves Murfreesboro and the surrounding communities. Put a strong and experienced legal fighter on your case. Give Will Fraley a call and he can handle all of your legal matters, including criminal and domestic or family law. Visit willfraleylaw.com or call 615-410-7290.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
The Blue Raiders are winners in the classroom, on the field, and the courts. Richard Lewis here. I want you to win in real estate also. Buying, selling, auction here in Tennessee, or along the Gulf Coast, a second home, or investing. Give me a call to help start that winning process. 615-319-9981. Oh, I'm never too busy for your referrals. Richard Lewis, Exit Realty, Bob Lamb & Associates.
Las Casas Drugs is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, located at 4702 Las Casas Pike, just minutes from Murfreesboro. Las Casas Drugs strives to provide all of your pharmaceutical needs in that hometown atmosphere you deserve. Family-owned and operated, Las Casas Drugs offers free delivery, immunizations, drive-through window, gift shop, merchandise, and medication management programs. Come by and see how we can make a difference. And go Blue Raiders.
WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports. Today's game is in the books, and it's time to recap today's action in the Blue Raider postgame show. Today's broadcast on the Blue Raider Network has been brought to you in part by Will Freely, attorney at law, State Farm Insurance, and agent Andy Womack, Middle Tennessee Electric, Exit Realty, Bob Lamb and Associates, and agents Brad Hopkins, Richard Lewis, Jonathan Harmon, and Chip Walters. And by Las Casas Drugs. Let's head back to the ballpark for today's Blue Raider postgame show.
Welcome back here to the FIU Baseball Stadium, and yes, welcome to the Blue Raider postgame show live from Miami, Florida. Your final score today in the rubber match, game number 3 between FIU and Middle Tennessee. Panthers win by a score of 10-2. A dominant outing from the FIU bats, and a great job by all of the FIU pitchers today. 3 of them to be specific, and all 3 did a good job of limiting MTSU. Blue Raiders scored both of their runs on a couple of solo home run shots. Let's get into our final stats of the day. We'll start with the FIU Panthers. They had a lot of people who contributed to today's victory. Aiden Kohal ends up with a 2-hit, 3 RBI day with 1 home run. Mario Trivella from Caracas, Venezuela with 2 runs batted in, 2 hits, and 1 home run in 5 at-bats. Sammy Fisher had 1 hit with 2 runs today scored. Enrique Alvarez Jr. gets an RBI. Andrew Ildefonso with 2 RBIs and 2 hits as well. Cole Cleveland ends up with 1 hit for the Panthers. And Caden Samler with 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and another home run to his collection today as well. For the FIU pitchers, it is Jordan Vargas who gets credited with the win. He goes 4 1/3 innings pitched with 6 strikeouts and had 68 total pitches. Cooper Foster came in for an inning and a third, ended up with 1 walk, no strikeouts, but no runs given up. And Jeremy Urena finished the job, and he gets the save. 3.1 innings pitched, a 1 earned run given up, and 5 strikeouts against Middle Tennessee. Meanwhile, for the Blue Raiders, in today's post-game stats, Owen Nowak ends up with 1 hit. Cooper Clapp ended up getting 1 hit and 1 run on a solo home run shot, his lone hit of the day. And Tyler Minnick had the best day of anybody, 3 hits, including a solo home run, as well as a couple singles for MTSU. So pretty good day for Tyler Minnick, all things considered. Nobody else, though, was able to get a hit for MTSU in this contest. As far as pitchers go, MTSU used 7 today. Drew Horn started off the game with 2 innings pitched. He'll be credited with the loss for this contest. 3 earned runs given up with 3 strikeouts. Cole Torbett goes an inning and 2/3 with 2 walks and 1 strikeout given up and 5 earned runs. Bryant Baranek with 2/3 of an inning, 2 earned runs given up and 1 strikeout. John Michael Pickens did some solid work. 2 1/3 innings pitched with 2 strikeouts. Already has a save this weekend and a solid outing today as well. Mason Dobbs with 2/3 of an inning pitched and 2 strikeouts. Colin Kerrigan had a third of an inning, and Cole Cates came in late for a third of an inning as well. Middle Tennessee will fall to 11-16 in Conference USA play, and they'll drop this road series to FIU. They are now 24-27 overall. Middle Tennessee can still clinch a berth in the Conference USA tournament next week when they play the Liberty Flames at home. That or a loss from New Mexico State would automatically clinch Middle Tennessee a spot in the CUSA tournament, and if New Mexico State loses today, that would also get the job done for the Blue Raiders. Not sure if we have a final yet on that game or not, but we'll make sure to keep you updated as all of that news comes in, and Middle Tennessee continues their search for the postseason. Obviously not the result that they were looking for this weekend, but this team did a very solid job nonetheless. We do have a final on that New Mexico State game. They lose 7-6 to Missouri State, so that should put Middle Tennessee into the Conference USA tournament, but we'll await confirmation on that as it comes in. So again, your final score today from Miami, FIU wins by a score of 10-2 over Middle Tennessee here in this matchup and takes the series over the Blue Raiders. Thank you all so much for tuning in all weekend long. Hope it's been a blast. We will be back on the air on Tuesday. Dick Palmer will take over, the voice of the Blue Raiders, as they take on the Memphis Tigers back in Murfreesboro at Reese Smith Jr. Field. And then the Blue Raiders host their final series of the regular season at home against the hard-charging Liberty Flames, who've been on a heck of a run as of late in the CUSA race. So all that coming up next week. But as for today, that's going to do it. So for my producer back at the station, and for all of you listening in, I'm Dylan Simmons saying so long from Miami, where our final score is FIU 10, Middle Tennessee 2. This has been a presentation of the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner. So long and have an electric night, everyone.
Bring your game day style courtside with a stop at Lightning's locker room on the concourse. From bold new drops to timeless campus classics, we've got everything you need to turn heads from class to tip-off. Whether you're rocking a hoodie in the student section or sporting a tee around town, your look says it loud. You're here for the wins, the energy, and the tradition. So step up your style and your spirit, because at Lightning's locker room, the season never slows down, and every fan plays a part in the hype. Let's make every day feel like game day.
Hey, Blue Raider fans, this is Brad Hopkins with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates. Winning in real estate is a lot like football. Good coaching and recruiting a great team are the keys. I put together a team of lenders, inspectors, and home professionals to help you succeed. Let me coach you through this process and make sure you come out a winner. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, I am here to help you win. Visit BradHopkinsHomes.com or call 615-556-9239 to find out more.
At State Farm, when home and auto work as a team, you score and have zero. And let me show you with discounts up to 40%, you may find it even costs less.
At Middle Tennessee Electric, we see the lines that link us all, illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Because we believe in the power of good energy. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart. And as your family and our region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
Thanks for listening to today's Middle Tennessee State University baseball game. Today's game has been produced by Van Wagner College through the facilities of WGNS Radio. The content of today's game is owned by Van Wagner College and the Blue Raider Network and may not be reproduced without expressed written permission of Middle Tennessee State University and Van Wagner College. Be sure to join us next time for more Middle Tennessee baseball here on the Blue Raider Network on WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
We now return to regular programming on News Radio WGNS.
I guess we'll flip to the moms. I mean, it is Mother's Day weekend tomorrow, so happy Mother's Day to you, my lovely wife, Mary.
Thank you, thank you.
Everybody that's out there as well.
All the moms out there.
Exactly right. I mean, listen, there's so much news we could get to. I will just go back to what I said. You know, everyone made a big deal about Spirit Airlines. It's been very quiet this week. I mean, everything's been very
well, a lot of these other budget airlines are picking up their routes.
Although today, Frontier, if you didn't hear,
and
Frontier at Denver last night, there was a passenger, or actually it was somebody on the runway that was hit, so we're still getting information on that. All right, when we return from this quick sponsors break, the Chief Travel Leader conversation will feature Andrew Wexler. He's already on that show hotline. The Destination Spotlight is also ahead this hour. We're back in 180 seconds.
As we take a brief sponsors break, now's a good time to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, X, or LinkedIn at RM World Travel. We're coming right back.
It's Mother's Day weekend, and we have the perfect gift for you to give. If you jump on this opportunity, it's going to be the Mother's Day gift that you're going to talk about for years, whether it's this October in the Southern Med or in July of 2027 in the Baltic and North Sea. Because of our partnership with Regent Seven Seas, you can now book to travel with Robert and me for a 12-day cruise this October aboard their newest ship, Seven Seas Grandeur, that goes from Malta to Athens, or for 14 days in July of 2027 from Copenhagen to London aboard their second newest ship, and that's Seven Seas Splendor.
So many of the places that we're going to be traveling, folks, they're truly bucket lists. The Regent team, well, they're going to deliver outstanding fun and entertainment, great food, an array of culture. The cruise this October has just 1 or 2 suite cabins left. It's nearly sold out. 2 weeks ago, we announced the 2027 itinerary. It's already 60% booked for that trip. You can still pick either to make Mother's Day extra special this year and experience a trip of a lifetime. Go to our show website, rmworldtravel.com. You'll see a banner with each cruise on the homepage. Pick the one you want and make your reservation.
It's a great Mother's Day gift. Ready to see the places you've been dreaming about? Well, now's the time to turn those dreams into reality. Save up to $1,500 per couple on expertly guided Colette tours worldwide when you book by June 1st. Since 1918, Colette has been taking travelers beyond the guidebook with experiences curated by in-destination experts. With over 170 tours worldwide and 5 distinct travel styles, you can see more, experience more, and travel smarter with Colette. By travelers for travelers. Visit GoColette.com for details on how to save or rmworldtravel.com under sponsors.
If you're someone who likes getting outside but still wants moments to really lock in, check out Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic at buyraycon.com/carry. They're packed with upgrades like active noise cancellation, multi-point connectivity so you can pair with 2 devices at once, and a comfortable ergonomic design that stays put. They're the perfect addition to your routine. Simply go to buyraycon.com/carry and you'll get 15% off. That's buyraycon.com/carry for 15% off, or find that link at rmworldtravel.com.
Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home has served Murfreesboro families with compassion and care since 1880. As a family-owned funeral home, we're committed to honoring every life with dignity through traditional services, cremation options, and pre-planning that gives you peace of mind. For over 140 years, we've been here when it matters most. Visit JenningsandAyers.com. Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home, honoring life and comforting families since 1880.
It's a Slick Pig barbecue, spicy wings and Brunswick stew, everything made fresh for you at the Slick Pig barbecue. There's lean smoked turkey and chicken too, ribs so tender don't need to chew. Well, come on folks, I'm telling you, it's a Slick Pig barbecue. In 1920 East Main, you're gonna love the pig.
The Slick Pig barbecue, a Murfreesboro tradition.
Got a question or comment? Need savvy travel advice? Connect with Robert and Mary and our show team anytime on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and X at RM World Travel. Now, back to award-winning RM World Travel.
As we've reset during that quick break, we have, well, what should be a fun and interesting Chief Travel Leader conversation about to happen. And as Mary and I welcome all of you back to the New York City area with us, this portion of the program is sponsored by our friends at Seven Seas Cruises.
And it's Mother's Day tomorrow, so if you jump on this opportunity, I can promise you it's going to be a Mother's Day gift you're going to talk about for a long time, whether it's this October in the Southern Med or in July of 2027. That's going to be up in the Baltic and North Sea. Because of our partnership with Regent Seven Seas, you can now book to travel with Robert and me for a 12-day cruise this October. That's going to be aboard their newest ship, Seven Seas Grandeur, and that goes from Malta to Athens. Or for 14 days in July of 2027, that's going to go from Copenhagen to London aboard their second newest ship, Seven Seas Splendor.
Whatever trip you're looking at, so many of the places that we're going, their bucket list. The Regent team, well, they're going to deliver outstanding fun and entertainment, great food, an array of culture. The cruise this October is nearly sold out. We just announced the 2027 itinerary 2 weeks ago. There's already been strong bookings for that trip. So go to our show website, rmworldtravel.com. You're going to see a banner for each cruise right there on the homepage. Pick the one that you want. Make the reservation.
All right. Named one of Atlanta's most admired CEOs in 2019, Andrew Wexler took on the CEO role of Herschend Family Entertainment in 2015 after spending 8 years as CFO with the company. Herschend is the largest family-held themed attractions company with iconic parks like Dollywood and Silver Dollar City within their portfolio. We are now headed to the show hotline for the first time today as Andrew Wexler joins us now for our Chief Travel Leader conversation.
Well, this is my favorite part of the show, Mary. Andrew, thanks for your time today. Welcome to America's #1 travel radio show.
Hello, and thank you. We appreciate being here.
Well, thank you. Enjoy having you here with us today as well. You know, Mary just highlighted 2 of your popular properties, Dollywood, a place that we plan to spotlight later this year when we're down in Pigeon Forge for a big Let's Go America tour event and live remote. And, of course, there's Silver Dollar City. That's a major part of the beginning of the Hershon legacy. That's, Andrew, where I want to go initially. So I want you to take us back to those early days in the Ozarks where it all began some 75 years ago. I want you to share some family history and really what started as just an average family road trip.
Absolutely. It did all start with a road trip. Mary and Hugo Hershon lived in Chicago, but they loved nature. They loved the outdoors. They were naturalists, and so they took a road trip to southwest Missouri. Ended up in a town called Branson, Missouri, which at the time there wasn't a whole lot there. And they did a cave tour and just fell in love with the area, fell in love with the people, and found out from the two sisters that owned the cave that they were looking to get out of the cave business. And Hugo Hershon decided, hey, let's rent this cave. It'll be a family business. We can come down for summers. He was a door-to-door vacuum cleaner salesman. And so he figured the family could come down during the summer times and run this, and then he could have his normal business operation during the rest of the year. And so they just fell in love with the area and took a 100-year lease on the cave. And that's really how it started.
It is an unbelievable story, and I mentioned in your intro that today Hershon is the largest still family-held theme park company in the U.S. or maybe even the world. But, you know, that's a long way you've come since then, and last year Hershon nearly doubled its footprint, acquiring Palace Entertainment's U.S. attractions. You've brought thousands of new employees, or hosts as you call them, to the family. I'm curious how you're working to ensure that the culture of bringing families closer together will remain consistent across such a diverse portfolio.
Yeah, so it is hard to believe 76 years from 1950, which was the year they went on the road trip and got the lease, the cave lease. And, you know, for us, culture is what it's all about. It's really about creating an amazing environment. We have a deep-held belief that the guest experience can never exceed the host experience. If a host comes into work and they're berated by their boss, if they're, you know, in an environment where they don't feel taken care of and they're frustrated and angry, who are they going to take it out on? They're going to take it out on our guests. But if they come into work, they're taken care of, they feel people really care about them, have their back, what we want them to do is then return that favor to our guests. And creating that cultural environment, we call it hospitality. It's about it's a servant leadership culture. And if we create this culture that's rooted in love, which is, you know, usually when you talk about love in business, it's a scandal. It's a Coldplay concert. Right. And that, that's absolutely not what we're talking about here. We're talking about love, the behavior, and how we treat people. And it really creates an amazing environment for our hosts to take care of our guests.
I love that. Did you, by the way, just so I heard you correctly, Hospitality?
Hospitality.
Hospitality. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Right, it's a little hard to say at first, but it's a combination of heart and hospitality.
Hospitality. I got you.
Family influence,
So, you know, as I look over your resorts, I mean, there seems to be a common theme here, Andrew. And what I mean by that is, and I'm going to use historic lake compounds in Bristol, Connecticut as just an example. Yes. You know, it's a park our sons know well. They grew up enjoying that park. It's America's oldest continuously operating amusement park. You also have Idlewild Park in Pennsylvania. It dates back to 1878. The Harlem Globetrotters, if folks don't know it, they're in your portfolio. They go back to the 1920s. You know, I could share more, but it seems like historic attractions are important to the Hershon family. I'd like to hear how you modernize and still maintain that nostalgia.
Yeah, so we really think about how do we make a product that's good for people from 2 to 92. And a big part of that is nostalgia. Grandparents want to share with their grandkids. Parents want to share their first roller coaster with their kids. So creating that nostalgic environment where across generations you can share experiences in a way that you might not be able to in today's society. You know, the cell phone has become such a generational silo. When you go to a dinner and you look at the table and there's a family there, all 4 or 5 of the family members, 2 parents, 3 kids, they have their face buried in their phone.
It's sad.
And the way it works is, you know, dad's probably on, you know, CNBC.com or looking at the stock portfolio. Right. You know, the mom's on Facebook. One of the kids is chatting. The other one's on Snap. The other one's on Instagram or playing a game. And it becomes a silo. And so we want to create environments that kind of create that cross-generational interaction. And so nostalgia is a big way to do that. It's a big catalyst for that connection, that emotional connection. But we also want to make sure that there's still fun things to do for the kids. We want to make sure that the kids enjoy the time and have fun. So we try and not only hold on to what's timeless, but then we try to inject new and exciting and relevant to all the generations.
So,
like we say, 2 to 92.
Yeah, let's get a little more specific on that. So, Robert, we were down in Orlando last year for the show, Andrew, for our big Let's Go America tour involving the grand opening of Epic Universe. And, you are either you are competing in this, or maybe you see yourself as not competing because you do see yourself as a very different collection and portfolio of theme parks. But there are these high-tech parks like Epic Universe that are really cutting edge with all their rides and everything.
Yeah, big budget, too.
But they're missing a little storytelling and other experiential things, in my opinion. So I'm curious to if you can get a little more specific on how you're differentiating from parks like that.
Yeah, and so we do have those sorts of elements. We have this summer in Dollywood, we're opening up our biggest dark ride ever, Night Flight, which is a combination of roller coaster, but there's a soaring element to it. So we have that sort of element in that storytelling, but we focus on the big parks. And they have this luxury of they focus on amazing IP, but a lot of that IP is temporal. Sometimes it's popular and sometimes it's not, and that's why you notice how they change out some of their rides, whereas there used to be a ride based on one movie, for a few years, and then they switch it to a different movie or different characters, different story the next.
Right.
We really try and focus on things that are timeless, like Christmas, fall, harvest, and pumpkins.
Yeah.
Well, I think with what you're saying on that, Andrew, again, that intellectual property, if they do lose it, you're right. So often you see that. We're going to come to a hard break in a minute, but I want to ask you this really quick question. What's a misconception that you think that people have about regional parks or family entertainment companies that you'd like to address, maybe dispel in some way? You've got an audience of about 1.3 million people out there, so it's your opportunity.
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing is that they're just small, dinky little carnival type projects, rides, or experiences. When for our properties and some of our properties we just acquired, so